Did I miss
side?
something?
We haven't even. Yeah,
I wasn't on anyone's side. I was saying I appreciate.
No, I'm not talking to
being
you.
told the fuck
Everyone
off.
knows who I'm talking to. He threw some shit in the banner. Pull that shit back up. Show them
Yeah,
what you did.
Sounds like a good title for a stream.
Why are you just feeding her ego already? Why
Well,
are
you
we
see,
doing
it's the
this?
color identification. Her hair matches his color.
So someone was telling a story. So like in college, I was at a party at a frat house. There's no better way to put it. And I was going upstairs to get myself another beer, and this woman who like they're in like a closed circle, like they weren't looking to talk to people. They just like stood around and be like, ah, look how hot they can appreciate how hot we are, but like I don't want anyone to talk to us. And then like I'm going upstairs and she's like, she'll take this, she'll take this, she'll take this. And I looked at her, I went, yes, madam, would you like a hot towel as well? And then I went upstairs and got myself a beer and like came down with like none of their drinks. And then just smiled at them. And then yeah.
You should have tipped the drink at them, but I like your style.
I've done that too, where one time I ran. This was in Hamtramck, which is kind of like Detroit's Polish armpit, is the only good way to describe it. It was like Polish town for like the longest time. Now it's like Polish / shish kebab town. But either way, like it's still like a fun place to play music. And this woman came up to me and crowded bar. I bumped into her. She knocks her drink on herself, and it wasn't even my fault. It was just like there's a bunch of people in the room, and like I saw she was somewhat pretty, and I was single at the time, and I was like, hey, let me buy you another drink, like to replace that. And so we're talking, and she's like, it's good, you did the right thing. And he was like, yeah, like I get my drink knocked in, and I was like, yes, you fucking better. And like I was already in the middle of ordering the drinks, and then I just took both drinks and like walked away because like the I was like, oh, what she had?
There wasn't enough gratitude.
A rosé. I don't know.
It really is the best way to just stay rent free. To be a dick.
Well, also like it was like when Vaughn Coleman like texted me the other day, and he's like, what are you doing, faggot? And then like I'm looking at him in the thing, and he's like, what are you looking at? I was like, oh, I'm just trying to figure out who the fuck you think you're talking to. I was like, don't you fucking sass me.
So I like how I say it's the best way to live rent free, and then you go to talking up Vaughn Coleman.
No, but I'm just saying I don't take sass. I don't take sass from anybody.
I can't believe the audacity of Vaughn Coleman to tell anyone the F slur when he looks like that.
He came back with some inflated testes.
This is
baby face motherfucker.
Like literally the first night we were there, Vaughn was sitting next to Iron at the bar, and Selena looked over and was like, who's that chick talking to Iron?
Well, he was running me ragged like the first night I was in Vegas, because like we ended up at like this hipster bar, and then like he was talking to a chick, and then he got like crying gamed, where he's like, I'm pretty sure that chick I was talking to was a dude. And I was like,
you did not say anything about this.
Yeah, these are the stories we haven't heard.
Oh,
I'm not shocked.
The one girl, she was like, I'm from Honolulu.
God.
And then she took my glasses off my face and like put them on her head, and I was like, give those back. And then she moved on to Vaughn. But like she was aggressive, kind of the way like a man would act when he's drunk.
Funny.
And I was kind of going like, no, and he was like, no, dude, you couldn't handle it. I got it. And I was like, I've been married for quite some time. I'm not looking to get anything. I'm trying to tell you she has an Adam's apple. And then like like a little bit later, like he kind of you saw he noticed in the middle of the conversation, they're flirting like back and forth, and then all of a sudden he was like, so who's your friend? And then they started talking, and then that's the one who gave him her number, and he was like, oh, she's meeting back up to me. And I was like, oh, okay, well, I know that you started out on the island of misfit toys. You started your conversation with the Charlie in the box. And the only reason I broke this trust is because originally he was like, it doesn't leave the room. And then he started talking shit about other things where, it was like, okay, but I didn't talk to a tranny.
Oh, good. I am so
Another thing that he did that
glad.
kind of pissed me off was like, hey, get us around. And I was like, I'm not flirting with anybody. Like, it was like, if I was like, if it was like you, the tranny, me, and this other girl who, by the way, when you say that, like, you moved to Vegas, like, by yourself, like, for no reason, that's kind of a red flag to me. Like, I'm just saying, outside looking in.
No one knows you.
Yeah,
You're
you
not
know, like
confirmed.
You're hopping on the sex worker pipeline at that point.
Kind of, yeah.
Mhm.
So like she didn't say it out loud, but they're just kind of like,
Crazy.
oh, yeah. I just all of it turned me off. So like I was just sitting there, and the bar had great prices for Vegas. They're like, oh, you want a Jack and Coke? That's $8. And then he's like, hey, buy us all around. And I was like, what are you two girls drinking? They're like, we like screwdrivers. And I was like, you know what? I'm feeling generous. I have like all my money in my pocket. It's my first night. I was like, get them screwdrivers, but put in a shot of Belvedere. Don't just get in, put in some nice Polish vodka. And then, they're like, oh, that's $12. And I was like, really? Because that would be like $18 somewhere.
Oh, no.
So then I ended up getting like way drunk there.
Sorry
because,
about
like
that.
It was reasonably priced.
Be right back.
Oh, I thought that was like a sound effect. That's
so great.
That's what I thought too.
Nope, just the doorbell. My bad.
I am so happy to hear that Von Coleman was hitting on women with Adam's apples. You cannot tell me how much, because he was wildly overconfident the entire week.
It's a rookie mistake. There's of course there's always the tells, Adam's apple, the obvious things, but you got to look for the subtleties. Hand to wrist ratio is a big one.
Right. Grip strength on the handshake.
Yes.
Yeah. Shoe size.
Posture.
That's another one.
No,
yeah.
You know what it was? Because I'll say whoever did the work well. This is a good looking tranny. But there still was the telltale, like if we were playing that game on Maury, I would have lost. I would have been like, no, she's a real girl. It was the strength in which she pushed me back and took the glasses off of my head, and then I noticed the Adam's apple. Because keep in mind, it's like this dark room. You know what I mean? Like so, like I'll give it to Vaughn, but like also you have like your older buddy going like, hey man, stop. Like
so. When I left to
eject.
Get my delivery, all I heard, basically in passing, was Theo excited about Vaughn hitting on someone with an Adam's apple. Yeah. And the only connection I can make there is Theo's long hair and Adam's apple. Why were you so excited? I thought you made out with a hooker.
Hey, listen,
a female one.
Listen, what me and Vaughn get up to is our business.
Nothing to do with Theo.
We do during our bro time. You're not invited to. Just so you know.
Why are we dogging on Vaughn?
This is clearly coming from a place of jealousy. That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah, that's it.
All I'm saying is you guys don't get to level it on him when he like gets a little big for his britches and he starts talking shit. Then I'm gonna unveil the hammer. I'll be like, what about Tuesday night in Vegas where
oh, you mean Vaughn?
Oh,
when someone had a surprise in their Happy Meal.
Dude, oh man, he was talking so much shit.
He was
like,
talking mad shit.
Yo, look
and
at all
also
these
like that
girls
picture of
I'm
him where
on.
he's got like his elbow up, and I was like, what are you doing?
Yes. But it's like, again, I've said this on other shows too. You
let him look like he was on the cover of an Hall & Oates album?
Yes.
Right. Have you seen him?
He was standing there posing, and I'm like, you know what?
That motherfucker, who stands like that unless they want someone to take their photo? Like the ego pose on
he
that.
He wants to be an anime character.
No, because here's the thing.
Badly.
We've seen him pose for pictures on purpose. What does he do? Finger gun.
I know,
He
right?
doesn't know how to pose for pictures. He did that by accident. He can only take a
captured
good
it
photo by
right, you
accident.
guys. It looks
Oh,
good.
I'm like the least photogenic person ever.
I don't
So,
know about
like,
that.
I-
I think I got
Like,
that.
here's a good example. This is a Vaughn picture. I'm going to share my screen. This is him taking a regular picture.
Super.
This is the
awkward.
best you get from him trying. Look at the wrist.
I've captured, the wanting to date somebody, Vaughn.
Yeah.
His
And then
thumb
this is
his
this
thumb
is the
awkward.
my
That
wife
is so much
capturing the
more
moment.
flattering.
Whoa,
Dude, look, no, no, no.
See,
That was a good
Watch
take.
out, boy. She'll
I
chew
see
you
this
up.
as someone hopefully is getting their camera out and he's just gonna magically be posing nice in it. Like
No,
he's
this is-
expecting it, but not expecting it.
This is the undercover cop doing a sting operation in a gay club.
Yeah, yeah. This is cruising. This is cruising. No, this
I
is-
mean, it works. The pop hip. Like,
okay. Have you guys ever seen the movie Beer Fest?
hell yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so that one part where the drunk like Indian dude's like looking in the mirror and he goes,
Uh-huh.
"Looking good, Barry," and then it's like his reflection looks back like, "Looking good, you sexy motherfucker." Like
Yes.
that's
Yes.
that is false bravado. That is drunken. That is drunken. Like I feel good, therefore I look good. Doesn't matter that I look like Christina Aguilera.
Hey, he had the opportunity to be here.
No,
Yeah,
he might show up. Bat Sauce says he might show up too.
Yeah.
I just realized we were live.
Yeah.
I just sent the message in the
That's
private
what
chat.
happens on this
11
show.
minutes for someone to say it.
Oh,
That's
everything that I said in confidence that I was waiting for that to
Yeah,
drop
that's
the
all.
hammer on
Oh
it.
no, this has all been recorded.
Cat's out of the bag. What are we gonna do?
I did send the message.
Hey,
I did send a private
Okay,
chat
well,
message.
if we are full disclosure, he did not do anything with the He-Man, but
Right. Not for lack of trying is what you're saying.
no, I'm just saying he could have ejected out of the conversation a little bit longer. Where I was going like, dude, and then he's like, no, if you're not going to do it, I'm going to do it. And I was like, okay, well, there's reasons that I'm not doing it.
Man, can a man just not have his own taste in women?
Oh boy.
Not if they're not women. You can have taste in
Yeah.
men though.
Yeah.
Can Vaughn not have taste in men?
I
He
No,
can
that's
do whatever
fine.
he like. You know what,
He's got the look.
Ezra or Arza, love is love.
Yeah. By the way, I want to introduce the chat to a new feature. That is my Stream Elements tip jar. That's going to be pinned at the top. If you feel like I deserve money, you should send me some. What's up?
I like how Arza thought that he needed to warn me. I appreciate it, but I got the notification. And I also watched him do it because like the amount of times I've now streamed with Theo, I got it covered where he starts it when it's in like the middle of a good conversation.
Yeah.
Because he's trying to be all like cool and smooth. and edgy.
Arza, what the fuck are you doing? What are you warning people about the going live? Did you warn everyone or just Gal?
Because
Look in the
he brought
private chat. I
faggot
sent
on
it in the
frame.
private chat.
Okay.
I know
Oh.
exactly why he did it because Sammy dropped his
Every
card.
single time you forget to tell them that you do that, and then they get caught off guard by you doing it.
I did not forget.
He does
No,
it on purpose.
They do that on
No,
B
it's an
Subs,
intentional
too.
thing.
And every single episode of B Subs, I'm apologizing to what do you call it? The Movie Cynic and Little Platoon. And they're like, no, this is the reaction we want. And they're like, well, I hate it.
Yeah, I just want authentic conversation. I hate intros. I think intros are stupid. They make me angry because it's like just
It's
skip
because
to the
he's
fun
bad
part.
at them.
Let's skip to the fun part. I am good at everything. I choose
Sure.
not to do certain things.
Yeah, so now we need to go back. What's on your mirror?
I believe I said it's probably a photo.
Yeah. Okay.
No, wait.
all right.
I think at this point, I think he has like a voice recorder on his mirror that he just plays while he showers. Just his own verbal
Yeah.
affirmations playing while he.
No.
As he's
No, the fact that he
crying.
won't do intros or what, it just shows this man's sheer lack of impatience.
I will say I don't like that
Yeah.
you can't interact with the chat, but I love that you can bring the chat up like big like that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. We run a fun show around here. No, but I don't know where this
I
like
know.
false perception got that I have a big ego. I'm just I feel like I am the most humble person in our network, and I don't get enough credit for how humble I am.
As someone with an enormous ego, like let me tell you something. Like you think you're doing your best. It's just like luckily in my life I have a wife and a little sister who are there going like, you look like a jackass right now. And I'm like, oh, I thought I was being humble.
Yeah,
Theo's ego is big to overcompensate.
Yeah, no, it's just the cat, honestly. That's the only person holding me accountable right now. Like, I got home from Vegas and he wouldn't touch me. He was like, "You smell like whore."
Well,
he was like, it was an EMT.
Was right.
You know what? Nobody fucking asked you, actually.
You know what? You brought it up. I kissed any hookers lately?
Hey, what? That's okay. First of all, I want to be clear. She's a wrestler / prostitute. Just like when a teacher drives Uber on the side, you don't say they're not a teacher, right?
Yeah, because
she's a wrestler.
During WrestleMania in Las Vegas, dressed like a wrestler. I wonder why someone would do that.
Well, okay. Let's back the story up, because why did I seek comfort in the arms of the muscle mommy? Somebody, not going to name names, somebody abandoned me. You left the city of Las Vegas, Nevada.
We're going to go here.
You get a chance to say goodbye, which was ridiculous.
This motherfucker.
And then
I try to say goodbye. I try to say goodbye because I'm leaving. You know what? It could have just been a thought. Hey, she's saying goodbye. Maybe I should act like a normal fucking human and say goodbye and give her a hug, because she was offering a hug to say goodbye. But no, he's so hard in on his nagging of me that he thinks it's going to live rent free. It does not. But I do it for the vine, let's say, and bring it up.
All right. I think
I heard your little comment when I left last night. I was still listening on my computer, motherfucker. Nice try.
Look, I stand by that. I stand by that. Look, here's the thing. You abandoned me. Gave me no opportunity to say goodbye. I had to seek attention elsewhere. Also, you were trying to talk to me in full fuckboy mode. And by the way, I was the one staying consistent with our dynamic. You were the one that tried to switch it up.
Yeah, because in person, I'm going to be nice to you when there's not a fucking camera around. Because I thought, we might be somewhat of friends.
No, don't be nice to him.
Let's
say it's not okay, it's my version of nice. I know we just met, Sammy. My version of nice. Like
okay, fair. I already picked up what you're laying out.
Listen. I didn't also in my defense.
I get it.
I thought you were leaving the bar. I didn't know you were leaving the city of Las Vegas. You didn't tell me that. I thought I was going to see you at Eddie's.
I think I remember seeing you there.
Yes, we probably passed at some point. Might have.
No, I remember when I see people with green hair.
Yeah, generally that happens. I stand out. Even though
I just want to point out this is a great visual of the difference between men and women. Men get meaner the closer we are to each other. Yeah. Whereas you guys got proximity down, and then you decided to be nice, and of course that's going to make Theo think there's something wrong.
Okay, yeah. Words of Paradise, like Leon is like one of like probably my closest friends in the online circle, and like I had like business cards made up for the meetup. Say that 5 times fast. So I was like, hey, check it out, and he looked at me, took one of my business cards, tore it in half, threw it on the floor, and then hugged me. And I was like, sweet.
So I have a circle of bros that I do that with. Theo, I've not known long enough. It was the first time our meeting in person. So there's layers to being a friend with me.
But again, back this up. You didn't tell me you were leaving the city of Vegas. You told me you were leaving the bar. So I was like, I don't know. And also, you fucking called me an asshole and stormed off. You didn't give me a chance to recover.
Okay, motherfucker. I gave you perfect opportunity like 4 separate times. I'm like, hey, I'm leaving. And you kept interrupting me and wouldn't let me hug you. You kept like pushing it away. So I'm not the type of
doesn't even sound like something I would do.
That type of nagging work. Oh, God.
That doesn't even sound like something I would do.
Guys, I have to ask, is this a 2022 version of Sleepless in Seattle?
This doesn't. No. Arson, nobody fucking asked you, by the way. What do you just. Why are you here?
Are you trying to tell me is this the version where the female lead ends up strangling the male lead at the end? I mean, this seems like a different type.
Theo would consent. He would consent.
Oh, he's not.
You're lost, motherfucker. You didn't get a hug out of me, so.
I feel like I'll live. But also, that was completely your fault. You're the one who chose to give up.
No.
That's on you.
Four separate times.
I don't remember. I remember one time. Where are these other 3 times happening? I remember
in the same
one
conversation.
Okay, I don't. Okay, first of all, you were talking to me when my hair was down and I'd already started drinking. I was in game mode.
God,
You're not gonna
shit. Man bun hair down. It doesn't really matter.
It does.
That's really doesn't.
Theo, for over a year, I had hair longer than yours. It does not fucking matter.
It super does. It's a whole
vibe
shift. It's a whole vibe shift. See, that's the thing. You were trying to approach me when I was not in that headspace. This feels like, again, this all feels like your fault. And then due to your abandonment, I was forced to act out, seek comfort in the arms of a muscle mommy. Right?
All I'm hearing is tone policing, Theo. This is pretty women behavior.
I was just gonna say that. Well,
yeah,
damn it.
We're gonna
just
say
because I have more masculinity.
Don't we use the euphemism? She let her hair down.
Yeah.
I didn't realize I had to treat him like a woman. Next time we meet each other, I'll adjust.
Thank you.
Yeah, no. So when he dresses like a
with-
samurai,
yeah.
treat him as such, and then when he lets his hair down, that's when he's vulnerable.
Then I'm sensitive and vulnerable. And you're trying to come at me
That is so
sideways.
not what happened.
I was trying to have a vulnerable moment with you, and then you fucking called me an asshole and stormed off. That was crazy.
Okay, all right. Next time I will take you out on our girls' day that I took Selena on.
Yeah, you didn't even invite me to that. What the fuck was that about?
My bad. I didn't realize you wanted a Manny and Petty.
Yeah.
How could you not realize that?
It sounds like he's being petty about the Manny.
I'm off my game with the gaydar that I just.
Yeah, what's up with that?
Okay. Now, Gal, it's not your fault that you didn't realize it was Theo's time of the month.
Oh.
Yeah, he's menstruating.
Right.
This is what I'm saying. It's good to finally see you taking some accountability, Gal.
Sense the sarcasm dripping from my tone.
Oh my god! My
shit! Don't say
on.
dripping.
Right.
Now this chat.
Now the neon lights in there.
Hey Sherry, what's up, bro? How you doing?
Hey Sherry.
Shout out to the 4%.
Oh, you're looking a little too. Oh no, you froze.
Oh, Emily's here. What's up, girl? I bet Diana's in the chat somewhere. There she is. What's up, girl? How you doing? Oh man. What's up, Jason? Jason's here as well.
Theo, I was so thrilled that you remember what I said to you when I first met up with you in Vegas.
Yeah,
as I forgot
that was
completely.
Fun. That was fun. That was exactly how I imagined it. Why? Okay, Mom's Mysteries and Mayhem over at the Rumble chat is spelling out moist letter by letter. This is what I'm saying. Don't say anything about dripping on this show, Gal. You'll get them started.
By the way, moist is like one of the grossest words in the English language.
Moist.
Oh, I learned a new word last night.
Where's that? I like our vibe right now.
Please don't bring up the new word.
I love you, darling, but I might say it again. I'm just saying.
I'm fascinated. Iron, please illuminate me.
No, this new word I discovered that I wish I never did was thickwid. Thickwid.
I mean, it gives you a visual, right?
Yeah, one I didn't want ever.
By the way, you would say viscous is another.
Well, yes.
Right.
Oh fuck.
But it doesn't give the same effect on people.
No, it does not. That's
thickwid because it has, like you said last night, Gal. It has that lisp to it, and it just makes everything grosser.
Yep. Like there's something in your mouth.
Speaking of lispy, how you doing?
Moister than an oyster.
Right now.
Holy shit! It's black sauce.
Yeah. Thank you for acknowledging me. Jesus.
Hi, black sauce.
What's up, buddy?
Hello.
I don't
Sorry,
know why
did we need to give you more attention?
Camera's not here, but I'm just.
No, but you have a wonderful palm tree, and that
Right.
takes me so far away from viscous and moist and
thickwid.
Thickwid is rough.
That's a
thickwid.
Thickwid
Thickwid sounds wrong, like leaving the mouth, like as the teeth touch the lips.
You should probably
You're
swallow
like, I'm
before
making
you
a
say
mistake.
it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and, you know when you add the Q makes it worse somehow.
Yeah, everything gross comes from the chat. That's too that fucking degenerates living over there. We love you guys. Shout out to the Rumble chat.
We're currently killing Selena.
Yeah. Ugh.
Just imagine the sound of a macaroni pot being
Stop
stirred.
it.
Oh
Yes.
fuck, dude.
Yeah, some Velveeta.
God damn it.
Yeah, that big block of cheese.
Stop.
It was like a suction to it.
Oh, yeah.
The spoon gets a little stuck.
Oh, yeah. There's,
God damn.
there's
You're
always,
the
like,
worst
little
one.
bits of
You're the
cream on
worst
the
one.
indent.
Do you but know me
I don't
at
even know
all?
why I bring you around here.
And a couple of shells still on the spoon. Yeah. No,
Oh man, Cliff over here. The moist thickwood drips slowly from her mouth. What the fuck, dude?
What the fuck?
He's
Jesus
writing
Christ.
fucking fan
That-
fiction over here.
that's like when theater kids like warm up, like the moist liquid moves firmly from the
The
mouth.
tip of the tongue,
moist
the
liquid.
teeth, the lips.
Sinful Caesar
Yeah.
sipped his snifter, seized his knees, and sneezed at you.
I appreciate that Theo's chat went from protesting smut to writing it.
Yeah. Yeah, there's been a serious vibe shift since I started having Gal on. I'm not going to say that there's a connection there.
Oh, there's a definite connection. I'm a fucking
Yeah.
Marine.
Yeah, you brought the fucking simp.
There's no level of
Christ.
Theo,
Stop
you're just
doing
supposed
that
to be
banner!
outdone.
She's not the voice of reason.
I am definitely the
Stop
voice
it.
of reason.
You're
Absolutely.
just saying that because she criticizes me.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm
Which
sorry.
is
I gotta agree
reasonable.
here, Arab. A woman
Oh,
cannot
she's
be the
wearing
voice of
blue
reason.
too. She's probably about to say she's an astronaut as well. Were you on the?
Oh fuck
Were you,
no.
you out there
God
with Katy
damn those
Perry?
bitches.
Fuck,
Those
can we bring up
bimbos in
that-
space.
Everyone, can you find the
Fuck
clip of
me.
Hose in Space? I want to cover that because I haven't. That happened while I was gone. We were off that week. I didn't get a chance to talk about whores in space.
I have so
That's
many
pretty fun.
things, like key points that I want to bring out.
The
My
divine
favorite one
feminine.
is that she talked about Katy Perry when she saw the Earth. She was like, "Well, I should sing a song," and I would be like,
Oh god.
the self-importance of to sing Louis Armstrong's "What a Wonderful World," and then she came out and kissed the ground. But also, you guys remember the movie The Right Stuff?
Yeah.
You know,
No.
it was about test pilots, like back in the day
Mhm.
when they were trying to get to space travel, and they're like, "Well, who do we need on this mission?" What like, what about Oprah's best friend Gail?
Oh, God.
We need to have her.
You know, I think I figured out though. The reason why Gal is able to be
Watched
gay,
a pop
it's
star
nothing to do with
Katy
her,
Perry.
It's the hat. She takes off the hat, her personality will shift back to the natural blue-haired state.
Why do you think
I
I
just love that she said
wear hat
like
belts?
one of them said like, "I'm an astronaut," and then it was like
The fuck you are.
NASA came out and confirmed and like, you are not astronauts. By the way, like zero gravity like flight tours have been around for a very
A
long
while.
time.
Yeah.
Mm.
Even
they just
Shatner
dressed
didn't
up
call
like
him that.
they just dressed up like they were in the Fantastic Four this time, and that's kind of what they did. Also, this was an all-female crew. None of them got lost, so I don't buy it.
Yeah, because the ship was
Well, they're
remotely
acting
controlled
like
by
it's-
men.
Yeah, 100%. Because they were like
Mhm.
down.
They're
What
acting
do you
like
mean
they're-
down?
Some sort of training involved with it.
Okay, I saw my wife go to a four-way stop the other day. She looked at me the other day like she was disarming a bomb, and I was telling her which wire to cut. Okay, like there's no way.
God, I hate these bitches.
So anyone buying into it's all fake conspiracy?
I mean,
Okay,
there's
still would
potential
for Katy Perry though.
Yeah, I can put a gag on her.
No, yeah.
Well, I mean, it's like
you mush your
just
face
zero
in
Gag
pillows
or a
before.
bag.
No,
I don't
you
want
just
those
mush
eyes
your face
staring at
into the
me.
pillows.
Oh.
Like she's about to say something. Like she's
Arza,
like,
did you
"And
just
I
say you
think
would
about
gag
that."
on her?
And you're like, yeah, no,
No,
you just push your face in the pillows.
Hmm.
No mush. Like what you say to dogs, like when you're.
This was my
you know.
favorite. Wendy's for the win.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck yeah, Wendy's. Who would say like their whole marketing team, their social media team must consist of one catty gay man.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh,
there's
right.
Pearls
There's
that
no one who
Harris
can
found
kiss
this
their
year.
ass more than like a catty gay man.
Right.
That was
And it's
crazy.
like, and you guys look so wonderful, and blue isn't your color. That's a lot.
Oh fuck.
No, so she kissed the ground, but but when she was up in space and noticed that the planet was round, she was like, now would be a great time for me to start singing. She was like, wow, I can see the entire planet. How do I make this moment about me?
Yeah.
I mean, that is like her modus operandi, just in general. She is a woman.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
you all remember when Shatner's moment got cucked like super hard?
Oh my God! Yeah, because you were gone for a whole 4 hours.
I just want to say how natural the pulling the hair back motion was. I think she's used to going down like that.
Yeah,
I hope so.
I can see it.
Because I hate finding a stray. Like
That's why
afterwards.
Theo had the ponytail.
Yeah, it is really hard to do physical activity if you don't pull your hair back. It's
And
true.
then you had Oprah crying like on the sidelines, like black women can do stuff. It was like, yes, no, if you have enough money, anyone can do stuff.
Especially when it comes from a white man that like is trying to control the world. Jeff
Yeah,
Bezos.
is this just Jeff Bezos putting a bunch of people he wanted to have sex with in a dick-shaped rocket? Is that what happened?
I don't.
Possible.
Does anyone want to have sex with Gail?
I don't know what Jeff Bezos is into.
God, there's
Oprah wants to have
Does
sex.
that mean
with
he
you.
wanted to have sex with?
All right, hold on.
Yeah,
Let's do
Oprah
this
wants
right
to have
now.
sex with me.
Smash, 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 smash.
with a hammer or
Pass. Okay.
You-
What about you?
My
Big rocket.
goodness.
Okay, just for the record, the one that is on the far left is actually Bezos' girlfriend.
Yeah, she was built in a factory, so she's. I think you
Yeah.
could order her parts off Amazon. Honestly,
I will say, like, there are pluses to being like the third richest man in the world. Like, you can send anyone you want up in a penis-shaped rocket and be like, oh, your friend's gonna take you to the Cayman Islands. I'm gonna take you to space.
Well, the
Okay.
worst part is because it's a rocket, he totally could have gotten away with Voyagering them all.
Oh, that would have been great. Yeah, no, give me like Harry J. Simpson and what's his face? Anybody who like talks about politics and gets like paid for money. We're like, I showed up at the White House. I finally got my chance to take a picture with Hunter Biden. Send them all into space, and then just like maybe not have a way for them to get back. That would be wonderful.
So I at one point said I wish the meteor had come while they were in space so they could just be stranded out there because it would make
Well, I don't know
that's how
about the
petty I
destruction
am. Please,
of
women.
the human race, but yeah, have something. You know what? By the way, this would turn into the most interesting episode of like Lost in Space. Like have a small asteroid just send this thing off kilter and just watch these catty bitches
They
deal with each other. She's like, okay, I feel like Katie's using up a lot of the oxygen and she's doing it for vocal exercises, but we're like, we're gonna die, Katie. Like I would pay so much if it was $70 an episode. I would fucking pay to watch these bitches like slowly run out of supplies.
We vibe.
Like we're on Venus now, and it's hot.
Counterpoint, they spend more money than they sent to Israel to try and get them back.
I don't what.
I'm saying we spent a lot of money to try and get them
Yeah,
back.
what?
It was a joke. I guess it was a failed joke.
Yeah, but I'm saying I didn't hear the joke.
Oh, I said they'd spend more money than we sent to Israel to try and get them back.
Oh, that's that. Well, you know
That's
what?
just not
Someone needs to
possible.
call Doge.
Right.
Because that's some wasted money. I don't think the world benefited from them leaving, going to space, or benefited having them land.
Agreed.
Not good. Not good. By the way, okay, hold on. I have to cover this because I want to cover this while Gal is still here. Do you guys remember a couple of weeks ago on this show where we talked about this chick in the Spokane comedy community who was raising a fuss in the Facebook group?
Yeah.
She's
It
back.
got worse.
And she's got a TikTok video. She's
Oh,
got a TikTok video exposing it all. Everyone
Keep
pull
it
this
up,
up.
women.
Pull this
Oh,
up.
Lord.
I'm so excited. I'm so excited.
So in other words, in connection to catty bitches who just should have gotten lost in space.
Right. That's the through line this week. It's catty bitches. We started with me, and now we're on to Katy Perry, and now we're here.
So can I just say that this is exactly how I thought she'd look?
Yeah.
Yeah, not quite the nasal piercing. I can't tell if she has the septum piercing, but
she's an academic millennial feminist. Yeah.
Ooh.
It's rough. All right. Roll that beautiful bean footage.
I want to do a little story time for people that are stalking my page. So in between the years of 2014 and 2019, I performed stand-up comedy at the open mic level. I never tried to make it as a road comic or anything like that.
Sure.
If people asked me to be on shows, I would be on shows that were local in town. And the reason
she gave the timeline, that means even though that you haven't branched out and tried to travel the country, you said something so heinous that the internet took notice. I'm just bringing accountability to the situation that, within a matter of like what was the time frame? 2014 to 2019. Yeah, you said something.
So is there
such
an
a lack of
origin that I'm not aware of?
accountability that the internet gave you accountability, and now you're trying to rectify the situation. Continue. That's all.
I just wish we could see the views because there are no likes, no comments, no
likes, no comments. This is the first time it's been shared, I think.
Yeah, no one cares.
Second time. It's the second.
Good.
The reason that I was there was not to become a stand-up comedian, but because I believe that writing comedy is the hardest form of writing, and I knew that if I mastered that, I would be a good author. So
no one goes on stage and goes like, I just had to do it for my. No, you anyone who wants to present themselves would like to go like, maybe other people might like to see this and go, no one. Okay. You would have did that. You would have went to an open mic and that would have been the end of it. You did it for 4 years, hoping that someone would take notice. No one did. And this is how you justify it. This is the mental gymnastics you do in your head.
I'm just respecting it. We should respect it.
I feel it's the hardest part.
Pause. Is there like I need context here. I don't know where this woman came from.
She said some dumb shit, and then
called her out a couple of weeks ago. She said some shit on the Spokane Comedy Facebook group. So she went in there being like, "Hey, why don't you guys post pictures of women who
won the trophy?"
And remember, the trophy is nothing. It doesn't matter. Yeah. This is you did good at an open mic that week. That's what the trophy is. And by the way, the venue doesn't post any pictures. People post their own pictures usually. That's how pictures get on Facebook, because you post them yourself.
This is the same type of breed of people who like to cancel like dead celebrities. Like, do you realize John Wayne said this in 1975? And I was like, he's been dead since like 1976. Please stop trying to bring real world. By the way, she's lying, saying that you don't. Okay, if it was a one shot and she did an open mic and someone happened to capture this on film, that would be one thing. She did it for 4 years. Okay, you don't go like, oh, I was just doing it because like I respect the craft and I feel like it's the hardest form of writing. So I did it for 4 years hoping for someone to take notice. No one took notice and I stopped. No, that's bullshit, because if you wanted to get it off your chest and if you thought it was something that was important and you didn't want to do it, you would do it like that one night, right? That would be it. Now, I understand women have simps where they were like, hey, no, you should totally do it again. There's no reason in the course of 4 years that she would go, you know what? I've had enough. I feel like I said my say. I don't care who listens. No. Okay. She was hoping it would take off. It never fucking did.
Yeah, wasn't there that one comedian that like tried to disguise herself as a dude and then got like the same exact?
Oh yeah, she started crying.
Reaction, and then the guy's just right there being like, "No, it was funny. It was hilarious. They're wrong."
That's right. You seeing anybody?
All right, go ahead and play the rest of this. Derby, welcome. By the way, Derby,
2019, I left.
Oh, he gets a welcome. Oh, okay. I see how it is.
Well, yeah, because I'm special.
Yeah, you're special, all right.
Yeah, he turned his camera on.
Yeah.
Well, okay, Bad Sauce is also special. Just needs.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I wrote all my books, and I came back to comedy in November of 2024. And I went back for a couple of reasons. One, I had been in isolation for so long during the time that I was writing the book, that I wanted a friend. But I also wanted to return and see if the stuff that had happened to me in comedy between 2014 and 2019 was specific to like those series of events, or if this was the culture of the stand-up comedy community. And since I've been back, I've stood in groups where bookers have said that pussy is just pussy. It doesn't matter whose pussy it is. I was vetted to go on a tour where one of the requirements for going on the tour was that I had to be okay with the headliner cheating on his wife. And like, what else? I watched as a female comic was brought on stage. As like the guy brought her on stage and said that she had the biggest, wettest pussy in the place that we live. Just there was no difference. There was no difference now than there was when I did it in 2014 to 2019. And since I'm an author now, I wanted to write a book about what it's really like in the comedy community for women. So my first thing was that I wanted to know why this one specific location would not post the pictures of women when they won.
Because it's your job to post it yourself.
You have a million people come.
That's why. Because it's your job.
Well, right off the bat, right off the bat, she seems hilarious. I just got to say that.
It doesn't she seem like a great time?
Yeah, definitely. Yep.
Another thing too. What's the term? Always a bridesmaid, never a bride. But I can break this down better. She didn't make the cheerleading team, so she joined Flag Corps. That's what I'm getting.
She was in the marching band, buddy.
No, she was leading the marching band in the Flag Corps. She was like, no,
she couldn't do anything else. Yeah.
They're like, oh
also,
no.
Also, I happen to know this
Flag flip is the source of the patriarchy.
No, I happen to know the comic that was introduced as having the biggest, wettest pussy in Spokane, and there's a good chance she does. So, like, it might have been a completely fair intro. That's what she does.
Yours thought of maybe she's proud of that title.
Yeah, it's like also here's the thing: like, girl comics are not girls; they're something else. Like, if they're gonna be good at it, because the greatest sign of respect that I could give a lady comedian is to treat her like a fucking colleague, which means that I'm gonna make 100%. Jokes at her expense.
Yep.
Right. That's part of the deal.
You have to sacrifice a part of your womanhood in order to be funny. And there's very few women willing to do that. The women who are trying to like hold on and go like, oh, I can change people with my speech. And it was like, it's the same thing that I tell like every like local musician. I was like, hey, not everybody's Bob Dylan. Okay. Like no one cares. Not everybody is going to be a like you're trying to look like a Kathleen Madigan, but you're looking like Amy Schumer. Okay, like everybody knows what you're trying to. We can wrap our head around what you're trying to sell us. Nobody wants it. Nobody cares. Like you're coming here with your big head and looking like honestly. Theo, we had a beard on there.
The jawline is what like really stands out. This woman.
No, the jawline. When I see that jawline in the wild, I know to like steer clear because they're gonna be like, "You want to know what's wrong with you?" And I was like, "No, bitch, I don't. I'm just."
But I know what's wrong with
Jack
you.
And Coke.
It's the single lip piercing. It's a lip stud. That's what really sells it off.
100%. She's mimicking like a beauty mark there.
But she looks like the lead character in a modern day video game. I'll give her that.
Oh fuck!
Yeah, that's so mean. Like Aloy.
But I want to say the way that she gets said that now that I've come back after I've written a few books, which means I'm better and smarter, more capable than all of you chuds.
Yes. Yes.
She looks like she smells like Amy Schumer.
Slip the door. Yeah. Oh yeah. Definitely. Like, here's the thing. Is it just all this comes down to is she did comedy about how much she hates men and it wasn't received well by the predominantly male audience. And now she's upset. Yep. Like if she was getting laughs, we wouldn't be here.
Yeah. 100%. If it was successful, she wouldn't say, hey, I tried this out for 4 years as an experiment.
It's like, no, it's
telling her, No, I'm sorry, Theo. That's what I was getting at. People would have told her, "Hey, do what you do. Like it's killing, right? Like you're killing tonight."
Yeah.
You know, like
the
next act doesn't even want to go on because like you just fucking killed tonight.
Yeah.
You know,
I want to point. I do want to point out that unfortunately, especially for this area, she's a Spokane 7. That's how bad it is.
I feel sorry for you.
Yeah, dude. This is why I'm so black pilled on women, because this is what we're working with.
7?
And it just means you got to get out of there.
I know I'm coming into this late.
We need to bring back that like
gatekeeping
7s to 8 are like good on the rating system because like I can tell you how many podcasts I see where they're like I'm a 10 and it was like you.
No woman is a fucking 10. It just I hate when I hear that shit.
10 is like movie star model, like okay, like
Sweeney's a 10.
You have a bunch. You show your tits on, you know, you show your cleavage, and you have a bunch of people simping for you. That doesn't make you a 10. That means you have boobs. Okay.
Yeah. If you can't get hot, naked is a great substitute for hot in a pinch. Like it'll do. You know.
Is this from experience, Theo?
I don't want to talk about it. Listen,
we wanted to see that EMT. I can tell you.
I have a bit of an ego. I regard myself as a 6. Okay, like even at my skinniest, like when I had like abs and shit, like I was a 6 because
I'm usually a 5. I'm average.
5 is average. That's what I'm getting at. The scale is all wrong. 5 is great.
Yeah. All right.
5 means you look like somebody fuckable.
Go ahead and play, because here's the thing: we're only halfway in. This shit is about to get really off the rails.
I know I'm coming
out of the woodwork.
Did you get what's on the painting?
What does it say?
Her? Twat, do what you want.
She's got red hair, so I'll call her a sweet potato.
I did not notice that, Dermy. Good.
I was trying to read it earlier, and
this is why you need people like Dermy with that autistic fucking way to just analyze the environment, right?
And by the way, we have it on record that Dermy like power bombs whores when he's not interested.
They power bomb him.
No, I straight up. If I'm not interested, I'm gonna tell you.
All right.
He's giving sluts the people's elbow.
That's not what's really going on and everything else, but whatever. And then the second thing was that I wanted video evidence of that guy who brought up the woman by saying she had the biggest, wettest pussy in Spokane. I wanted that on video. It's important.
I wonder why.
And again, I posted in the group and a million people come out of the woodwork to say that never happened. They didn't see it happen, all of this stuff. And then because I am causing a ruckus inside comedy because of what I'm looking for, the type of evidence that I'm collecting. Now people are coming to me to tell me to shut the fuck up. And it's always, you better shut the fuck up or you're not going to get any stage time. But the thing is, I wasn't here to get.
Right.
Exactly. Shut the fuck up.
What's the problem? Shut the fuck up or you're not going to get any stage time. This is what I said on my show. Like,
that's actually really good advice.
That's good advice.
Yeah.
These are your friends. Shut the fuck up.
But you can't tell women to do that.
This is actually someone trying to help you.
God damn.
Okay, here. I know that I've gone off on tangents. I apologize. When I was in high school, I went to an all-boys high school. Okay? We had a theater department. I was also like I was a triathlete. But like I did all like the plays and everything. And one day my sister, who went to an all girls high school, she was sick. I had just gotten my license and I picked her up from this all girls school. And I was thinking it was going to be not what I thought it was going to be. But I came across the all girls high school. They had a theater department. So they were building their sets and, you know, like using power tools. And I walked up and these people had known me for a couple of years. And I said, wow, it's nice to see girls doing shit for a change. And this girl named Jen came up to me, you chauvinist piece of shit. You think girls don't know how to use power tools? And I was like, no, I see guys all the time. It's nice to see girls doing anything. And she's like, oh, well, that's not bad. And I was like, they're looking for guys to be chauvinistic where
Yes.
I'm just looking to say like, hey, it's nice to see women doing anything at all, because normally I just see guys doing that. But immediately it went to like the angriest common denominator that you could possibly fucking find.
They usually just vibrate.
God damn it.
All right, let's finish. Let's wrap this up. She's about to go completely off the rails.
I was here to shine a light on how fucked up this was. So when I'm not going to back down, one of the comedians starts going around town claiming that I'm blackmailing him. And then he tells everybody in the comedy community that he's looking for me. So when I make it known that I am also looking for him, he has my brother-in-law and my brother-in-law's girlfriend call up here and threaten me first with gang violence if I show up to the comedy open mic. But the second call was that this dude's wife was going to beat my ass. And it's like, this all started because I asked, why aren't the women's pictures posted? And why would you introduce a female comic by saying she had the biggest, wettest pussy in Spokane? All of this fallout is for these two things, because the culture of comedy is rape culture. They do not want women who speak out about anything at all. When that guy came to me and told me to shut up for my own good, what he was actually saying is that none of these fucking men like it when you talk about the way that we treat women. So you better shut your fucking mouth or you better get the fuck out of here. And when I wasn't going to shut my mouth and I wasn't going to get the fuck out of here, now you're calling my home to threaten me with violence. That's the worst.
Nope, that's not what happened.
Nope.
Your friends were calling you to tell you to chill the fuck out.
Right.
Yes. And they're saying, hey, you could post pictures of yourself if you want to. The venue is not going to do this. And then she's like, well, that's wrong. Also, now you see like the mental gymnastics of how can I deprive myself of any accountability in this situation. So you're going to tell me you weren't being an annoying cunt the entire time while you thought you were being stifled
independent
in some way,
strong will.
Yeah. I'm positive she has like that blue and yellow equality thing on the back of her car. Like
coexist.
No. No, the coexist. That's another type of crazy. I'm just talking about the blue and yellow equality symbol where this is a special part in feminism where they're like men and women should be totally equal. That's what it stands for. And then any single time where a man does better than a woman, they're like, well, it's just got to be oppression. The only fucking, it couldn't be that I wasn't funny that night or people didn't like it. They had people, they reach, like it's almost like a government conspiracy where they're like, oh my God, they got to you. Oh no, you're telling me that I wasn't funny that night? My own sister-in-law and brother told me that I was being a piece of shit that night, but it couldn't be that. It had to be the patriarchy. Like it was like everybody, you have members of your own family telling you that you suck. And then no, it couldn't possibly be that. I've been doing, and like we just got to for her description. She's like, I just wanted to test the waters, and I tested the waters for 4 years, and then nobody liked it. So that's why I left, because I was just testing the waters. Because like it's just so hard, and it's just ruled by the patriarchy. It's such a cop out. It's such a piece of shit way to go. Just you know what? I tried stand-up comedy. I did it for a while. You know what? I wasn't funny enough to keep it going.
Shocker.
Okay, like I was better suited as being a musician who like quips on stage. I wasn't fucking funny enough to like keep it up every single night, where like there would be nights where I was in a bad fucking mood, and that would translate to how I presented myself on stage. That doesn't mean that people were oppressing me. That means that I wasn't good at doing what I was doing. Like there's a reason that I fucking stopped. That's if she would have just said that would have been better. It was like, I tried doing stand-up comedy for 4 years. It didn't work out, and this is why I'm a journalist, but I have some good insights on stand-up comedy. Great. Sorry.
Yeah, no, well, I think you're right. So stand-up comedy rejected her, and now she's out to destroy stand-up comedy's reputation.
100%.
That's what happened. It's
I also
just
want to point out.
This is why I'm not good at stand-up comedy. You just said it in 3 words.
and you had 75.
Now,
and I do want to point out the
here's
way that
another
she
thing
mentioned
about
that,
this. Oh, go ahead.
So she mentions she wants to get a recording of the guy introducing the woman with the biggest, wettest pussy in Spokane. First of all, she assumes there's a problem, as though that's not the intro that she gave, because apparently, I'm just guessing, she was introduced multiple times with this intro.
I think
my assumption is.
Yeah, well, I'm guessing like it's just sometimes you just say things like I've been introduced as this guy just got out of jail for pedophilia. Please welcome Theo Snodgrass. Like sometimes people just say shit to you when they're bringing you up. Like that happened.
But if she was hoping to get a recording of it, my assumption is it's happened multiple times, which probably means that's actually her intro.
Right.
Yeah.
Like that she's fine with
favorite
it.
intro that I ever got as a stand-up comedian is one guy said, the only reason that I'm not here is I ran out of fucking Jif peanut butter and my dog was busy. And I was like, one, it throws you for a loop, but that's like how stand-up comedians razz each other.
The shot.
I'm sure she took that personally and went like, the best thing she could have did was like, hi, how are you? I have the wettest, biggest pussy in Spokane.
So please take note that she never said once in this story that woman who's getting introed that way came up to her to, in confidence or otherwise, say, I hate how they introduce me this way.
Yes.
No.
Right.
She got offended on her behalf. That woman is probably fucking funny and she's jealous as shit and hates the fact that she lets men treat her that way because it's looking bad on women. I can't believe she's doing this. So I'm going to put a stop to it because she's too scared to say anything.
What do you think she's
doing to everyone?
Hold on, Iron.
Another thing, real quick. Okay, real quick. She didn't bring up how any of the men were introduced and what was said before they went on stage. Not once.
Yeah,
that was never
I
brought
have
up.
the biggest, wettest dick in Spokane.
She also didn't. Yeah, she didn't bring up that. It's your responsibility to promote yourself after winning and post the pictures. They may or may not do that for you. There's also that whole thing with the equality means making room for women to be included in the top no matter what.
Yeah.
Okay, why are there only men winners? Make sure a woman wins.
There's something that
that's equal.
They didn't post here. When someone like tosses you a softball like that, we're like, oh, he has. Here, we'll throw it around. I have the biggest, wettest pussy in Spokane.
I'll say so.
I don't want to hear about your case of swamp ass, my guy.
Well, but you run with that and you turn it around on the person who said that to you, and then all of a sudden that is a call to arms. We're going, hey, I introduced you. Comedians do this. They will introduce you in a funny way, and you have to come up and say something right off the bat. Otherwise, you're going to lose the crowd immediately. Obviously, she didn't do that, but I'm saying that is something comedians do to other comedians just because it's a rite of passage where they were like, oh, not to say my last name, but here's Sammy Threepeat. He's a fucking asshole and he's not allowed by fucking playgrounds anymore. Give it up for him. And then you were like, well, I'm not allowed to by playgrounds because you could either like double down and say like, hey, because like the children got really upset when I was there, or you could say like something, I wasn't allowed by playgrounds by something that you did. Or something, like you turn it back on the host.
He mistook me for himself as the biggest, wettest pussy in Spokane.
Yeah,
the
biggest 100%. I would have said I'm the biggest, wettest pussy in Spokane.
Yeah.
100. Like your ability to do that is one of the reasons that Kill Tony is popular the way that it is, because you get to see certain people on their feet who might not actually get an opportunity to like blow up. Some of these people blow up because they're good on their feet. If all of a sudden if someone said like, here's Sammy Threepeat, he is a pedophile loser, and it would be like, well, I did what I did. I joined the Boy Scouts and I was an altar boy, and neither my scoutmaster or my priest fucked me no matter what I did. Like that's what you have to do. You have to have a certain sense of humility in order to like keep the joke going. But like the second that you stop and go, well, I think you don't think that women can do that. No, we're treating women the way that they want to be treated. Like that equality sign is actually being used correctly, because I'm not treating you any different than I would treat a male comedian. The problem is you have your female ego and I insulted you and you're like, well, now I can't do my jokes about cats and dry pussy.
So she, for me, is kind of like a visual representation of feminism in general. I recently had a thought that feminism is basically like they want their equality. So they climb up the like cheerleader human pyramid to get to the top, right? And then they kick everybody down thinking that, yes, I'm finally here. This is equality because I'm here. Not realizing that what you just climbed up was the structure and you just destroyed it. Like that's what happens in every not just comedy. Like all these women bring in their fucking feminism and bullshit nonsense by climbing onto using the shoulders of men who are better than them that came before them to get to the top, and then they just fucking destroy it because they want it the way that they want it specifically.
And we just want them to climb on some dick. Come on.
Like sports, everything.
No, they say that what's the big thing that they go is we don't need no man. Until their like garbage disposal breaks, or until like there's any heavy lifting to do. I think Bill Burr said there's no feminist in a house fire.
Yeah.
Jimmy, you were trying to say something earlier?
No, all I was gonna say is this bent reminds me a lot of what Sean Connery used to say. Some bitches just need to get slapped.
A factory reset.
Yeah.
It's just another example, I think, of another like women ruining men's spaces. Because honestly, I don't think that a lot of women are funny. Some are funny, but like the fact that she didn't take it seriously, it didn't sound like something she was like it was her destined thing to be. It's more like, well, this is my experiment. If you don't have passion for it, get the fuck out.
Yeah, it's because it's a sense of entitled. She doesn't need to be good at it. She's entitled to it.
It's a sense of entitlement and lack of accountability.
I think Jeremy threatening gang violence right there was a little bit uncalled for.
I'll threaten a whole lot more than gang violence, buddy.
Don't ever argue. Don't ever give a woman an opportunity not to be a hypocrite. Because like they will take it. They will take it. They were like, I want equal rights. And you're like, okay, well, do you want to, you know, like, okay, you want to get drafted? And they're like, well, no, that's more of a man's thing. You know, fuck that. Oh, do you want the guy to pay for the first date? No, they're going to fucking take that. You know, there were plenty of women who actually, like arbored against the 19th Amendment because like they thought that women shouldn't be a part of that because like they have no skin in the game, and they didn't want skin in the game. They wanted people to be able, you know, they're like, oh, do you think we should get the right to vote? On the surface, that sounds great, but they're like, well, now you have to start fighting fires and you have to fight in a war, and they're like, well, fuck that shit. What am I going to do?
I only wanted the positives. I didn't want to.
Yeah, all the benefits, none of the responsibility.
With comedy,
it's worth noting. Oh, go Theo.
Go ahead. No, go ahead, Dermy. Dermy, you were saying something.
No, I was just going to say, man, all those beta males that gave them the right to vote, yeah, they really fuck shit up.
Male feminists. Thanks.
Huge problem.
Well, they are the worst.
That's one of the problems. So, with what she's saying here is she wants to change what comedy is so that it's more. She wants to bring the HR department to bear on comedy. And actually, the whole point of comedy is that people are going to say transgressive things. So in order to put yourself on top of comedy, you're doing like I was saying, you have to actually destroy what comedy is in order for you to be in charge of it. Because if you're going to bring the HR department in there, like you're going to ruin everything.
Well,
we like it how it is. That's why we're doing it. And by the way, the girls who hang out in comedy spaces also like how it is. And ones who thrive there like how it is. So like You know, and by the way, there are real instances of bad stuff happening to women in comedy, but none of what she's listing is part of that. And this is really important too. As far as like the threat of gang violence, I cannot tell you in expressive enough words how much that did not happen. That just absolutely did not happen. Thank you for the banner. Make gatekeeping great.
Emerald gets exactly what I was trying to say earlier. Like, we need to bring back gatekeeping for everything.
Is there any context to that gang violence claim? What is the context there?
Oh, it's because a black man talked to her.
That's actually right. Yeah, it was a black guy that she has. I know the guy she has a feud with, and he's a black guy. That's literally Bat Sauce is actually literally correct. Yeah,
nice, lovely.
You know,
it's not that she wants. It's not that she wants HR culture. It's not that she wants to gatekeep. It's that she is a tourist who came here and is like, I don't like the ethnic food. It's too spicy. Can we add some mayo to this? And she's adding mayo to comedy. It's not that she's HR. It's that she's the tourist who decides she doesn't like what the Bahamas have to offer.
Right. And this is just how comedy is. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, I've been like biggest, wettest pussy in Spokane is actually pretty mild compared to some of the stuff I've heard, you know, like, and some of the stuff.
Is she funny? Is the biggest, wettest pussy funny?
If it's who I think it is, because I wasn't there that night, but if it's who I think it is, yeah, she's a hoot, man. Like she takes that stuff in stride. And like,
can I have her phone number?
You cannot. No, she would ruin your life. I'm doing you a favor.
I'm okay with that.
Don't fuck female comedians, guys. Just even if you're not a comedian, don't do it. Don't do it. It's gonna ruin they're like strippers, but less hot. Don't do it.
So yeah,
they have all the same problems of strippers without any of the benefits.
All the daddy issues, the crying, the Theo just haunting their nightmares, you know.
Like I said, they're within my range. I can actually reach that.
You guys have to follow me. This is why I think like school shootings are like so prevalent. So like my wife is like actually a teacher. So one time last year there was this kid, he was really bad at math, and the school was like, well, we'll tell the parents during parent-teacher conferences, but we'll print up a different report card for this kid and say like, hey, he did okay at math. Well, what happens when this kid wants to grow up and actually be like an architect or something math related? Like, you're going to throw him out into the real world and be like, spoiler alert, you sucked at math the whole time. And the only reason we did it is because like the teacher didn't want to have the conversation, or actually it wasn't even the teacher. It was the parents didn't want to have the conversation with you to say that you actually sucked at math. That's why we have clear backpacks, because this kid is actually dealing with rejection the first time. This is why, like, when Cindy Lou says she doesn't want to go to prom with this kid, this is not like he struck out in T-ball. He struck out in the real world for the first time, and now he's dealing with rejection for the first time, and he doesn't know how to deal with it. So like, I'm on the schoolyard, I was told I was a piece of shit all the time. Okay, I had to grow up with that. You had to deal with rejection. When I did stand-up comedy, I dealt with that all the time. When I did music, I had to deal with that all the time. On YouTube, I had to deal with that all the time. I have people who call me or who send me messages right now because I broadcast from a fucking lazy boy chair, and they're like, you fat piece of shit, you can't even afford it. And I was like, you can't even afford a computer chair? And I was like, no, I thought that I had like the game beaten because like I'm really comfy. Like I stream from a comfy chair. And they go, hey, no, fuck you. You have no right to speak about the Snow White remake because you're such a fat piece of shit. You can't get out of your lazy boy. Okay. Well, also, I've dealt with that my entire fucking life. These kids, they haven't, and they shelter them from that. That's very much what female comedians right now go, where they go, oh, I did this thing. And then wouldn't you know it? They told me I wasn't funny. It's got to be the patriarchy. And it was like, who the fuck are you to think that you have the right to be funny? People will tell you that you're. I know when I'm funny When
well, no,
people
I know
start
exactly
laughing,
what it was is she was told she was funny by her girlfriends at a brunch night with samosa, or
100%.
brunch meal with samosas, and she thought, well, if I'm funny when I'm drinking orange juice with a little champagne, I must be funny in the real world.
Yeah, absolutely.
I will say, I thought the clear backpacks was because of black people. Is that not it?
Well,
No,
they're the
actually,
ones
that was because of Columbine.
Oh, okay.
They don't care when it happens between them. They only care when it happens at a real school.
This is all right. Let's pivot. Well, look, yeah, comedy's a harsh mistress. It's
But you don't want to be talking about school shootings.
It's brutal. You're thanks, buddy. We are on Rumble.
How many of you have been told that you look like one when you were in school?
All the time. Yeah, I had a rough time in high school because they thought
you're a female comedian.
Because I feel like you would have
so too.
Yeah.
Yeah. How many kids were like, "Hey, we're gonna move on to the next subject, unless that's okay with Theo."
So I have a question for you, Theo.
Oh,
earlier,
what?
Earlier you mentioned that you know or you're sure that bad shit has happened to women in comedy.
Yes.
At least from my experience in the military, which is another man's world, when bad shit happened to females that weren't insufferable fucking twats like this bitch, the men took to arms, let's say.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
And what is now happening is the more females or HR types that come in and say that all this stuff is happening more and more and more and more, and they keep pushing on it and they keep trying to change everything because everything is wrong that's been working for decades past, is those men no longer can do anything for fear of like being blamed for it. So those men that used to have let's call it toxic masculinity.
Yeah.
Because they wanted to step up and defend those women, now have to step back because they're being attacked from all angles now because these women have come in, these HR types have come in to fix the problems that didn't actually exist and they created them themselves. That at least in the military, that is what happens because like when you're that bro status as a woman, you become protected in a different manner if a situation comes up because of one bad apple.
But that weapon is enabled by the HR department. Like
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But also, like exactly when men nurture a woman and take a woman into their like tribe, or especially when it's bullshitting, something like the military, musicians, anything like that. There are so many cases where there's the boy who cried wolf, where we will look at the people who are actually getting wronged and we will look at the people who are actually just trying to make a fuss and they didn't actually make waves. Like we will see that there's a reason that you will have a community of people who rally behind one woman. So this woman, there's a reason that there's like 0 likes, 0 views on her shit.
So this is important. Okay, so I'm gonna put a pin on this because what Gal's saying is right. Women actually rely on the men have a natural predilection to protect women, most of them, the good ones, and women rely on that to stay safe. So when a woman like this tries to weaponize it for bullshit reasons, she hurts all women's ability to complain about stuff, right? Even real stuff,
like the Me Too movement. It's like who's that Indian comedian? It was Aziz
Ansari. We were just talking about this.
Well, yeah, no, it was like we were just saying. It was like, hey, we had horrible shit like Harvey Weinstein, and I can't remember who that that guy on NBC News where he actually had a button he could push, and then all of a sudden his doors would lock from the.
Well, I have one of those at my house. Those are fine.
This is practical.
I mean, they have their uses, but. But no, I'm saying so like you had like those awful monsters, right? And then all of a sudden you have this woman going, I went on a bad date with this guy.
Right.
Does
it's so funny.
Deserve to lose his career?
That's a particular example that matters. I want to put a button on this before we move on from Aziz Ansari. At the time that was popping, I showed that story to my girlfriend at the time, and I was like, if Aziz Ansari did this to you, what would you do? And she was like, I probably would have fucked him. So like it's one woman's trash, you know what I mean? RJ, go ahead.
Infuriating because
I just want to say that's like I don't know about you guys, but I like to compliment people. I like to be nice to people. But this current Theo, I'm screenshotting. Oh fuck, it went away. You had the best face. I didn't screenshot that real quick. I apologize. But it's like you can't compliment. Here, I will send it to Arrow so you guys can see what he did. But you can't compliment anyone anymore because it's all a form of transgression. You can't be nice to people because being nice is now seen as being offensive.
Yeah, well,
or it's seen as simping, or it's seen as
right.
I don't care being seen as simping. I'd rather be seen as if you want to think I'm simping when I'm trying to be nice, I'd rather that you think I'm a predator. It doesn't matter what you rather.
It's just the way it is. That's the problem with everything right now is the tribalism where this side says you can do the best indication I can do it is the border discussion where you have the left going it's not a problem at all, the right says hey it's a huge problem, and then anybody in between that goes well there's kind of a problem. We can't have a discussion if you guys are saying it's a problem or it's not a problem at all. It's probably somewhere in between. Do I think that we should incentivize becoming an American citizen? Absolutely, I do. Do I think we should criminalize everybody who hasn't because they're either apprehensive about speaking the language or any other millions of reasons they might have for not wanting to, so like when my grandfather came to this country, there's a part of my family that speaks Italian. There's a part of my family that doesn't. Because when my grandfather came to this country, he said, no, like we speak English. We're American now. That's it. There's a part of my family that speaks like fluent Italian. I don't say like, hey, you guys hate being American. They just went about it in different ways or different reasons. They still assimilated and they still became a part of American culture. To say that there's people who are committing criminal acts who aren't doing those things. You can't say that the person who doesn't want to assimilate or doesn't want, the only thing that you should do is incentivize being an American citizen, where like in Minnesota right now, they're going, we should just give people who are illegal immigrants, we should give them driver's license. No, you shouldn't have the luxury of having a driver's license until you've taken the time to be an American citizen. That it sounds like I'm taking crazy pills, but you have people standing in line saying like this is wrong. I don't think that's wrong.
Yeah, this is actually kind of important. This is actually kind of important because I want to put a button on this. It's actually socially hazardous to be nice to people in this culture for a lot of reasons. And that's why, like, to stand out, I have like cranked up the rudeness in my social interactions to like 11 because I'm not going to take the risk of being nice. You're going to call me gay, you're going to call me a simp, or you're going to think I'm a predator. Like, I'm not taking the risk, right? It's not worth my time. So I think that's made the world a lonely place, but I think it's like people don't trust, and you got to deal with people like this. And here's the thing, like only like 1 in 4 chicks are like this chick. But if you meet one, she will go on TikTok and try to ruin your life, like she's doing to a friend of
she'll
mine.
Take advantage of your niceness. Where like everything I just said, they'll be like, "Well, Sammy 3Pete hates immigrants," and you're like, "No, what I wanted was them to actually take the time and like, what is it like? Learn the Pledge of Allegiance." Learn, like, become an American citizen, right? Like my grandfather was a barber. He came from Sicily. He could speak 5 languages before he came to this country. He on his wall was when the day he got citizenship. He was very, very proud to be an American. Where does that go? When you see all these people rebelling and like standing in the middle of these highways, what are they doing? They're showing flags of the country that they came from. And you're like, well, why are you advocating for the country that they came from when you want to stay here? You should be showing an American flag. and say that you're proud to be an American. It
Hold
has
on,
become
David, give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Hold on, because Gal has a heart out, and I know she likes to leave without saying goodbye. But I wanted to give her an opportunity to say goodbye this time. Go ahead, Gal.
Thank you. In summary, if you let women like this into your spaces, they're going to ruin them under their own altruistic feelings, getting offended on everybody's behalf, even though those people don't get offended. I appreciate you letting me come on again, Theo. I give you a hard time all the time, but it's because we're friends, and that's what I do. Because you can't be nice to people, like you said earlier.
Well, the reason Theo lets you give him a hard time is because you give him a hard time.
Well, there's that.
Yeah, just try telling him goodbye before one last.
Yeah, you're definitely making him hard. That's why he does this show.
Almost every gay homo dork.
Yeah, guys, can we stop saying the quiet part out loud? Gal's trying to say goodbye to me.
Thanks for having me on. Go follow me on all the socials, Rumble, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, all under this name. I'll see you guys later.
Get ready for next Saturday where she's gonna make fun of me all the time.
Yeah, you can do that. I'll be there.
Did you guys see that? She was almost pleasant there right
in the new show. You're gonna do great.
Well, she's gonna play it up a bit.
Don't tempt me. I'm a biter. Get out of here.
No,
all right, she's gone.
Oh, thank fucking Christ. God, it's like I stream with her constantly. Holy hell.
Yeah, dude, she's a lot. She's a lot, if we're being honest. By the way, she says, I've never had a woman tell me to my face that I negged her too hard. That's crazy. And by the way, I'm dying on this hill. The fact that she's still bringing it up is a sign that I negged her exactly the right amount.
She'll kill you.
Just throwing that out there. Yeah,
listen, I have said it on multiple occasions now. Anybody that wants to fight her, I will egg it on. Okay, I will back you up and everything, but I'm putting money on her.
I don't want to fight back. I just want to get hit.
Yeah, I feel like she's gonna throw some surprise bows.
Heard that, Derby? I love you, Gal. She'll yell.
You fucking coward.
Oh, 100%. She's my producer. I know everything about her.
Yeah.
I know to back down.
There you
go. I know for a fact if she winked in your general direction, you would be on your knees.
That means she likes
you. We're not worthy.
You should powerbomb her. Yeah. She likes you.
No, she's good. She's tiny in person too. She's like a troll doll.
She's a little gremlin, but she's rabid.
Yeah, she is. The green hair and everything. Yeah, she was
no,
crazy. Yeah, she's like
great.
a rabid
someone
Wolverine
accused me
too.
of simping. I was impressed where she was just willing to tell people to fuck off.
Yeah, more people should tell Theo to fuck off.
Oh, by the way, Selena, Iron's on the show tomorrow. You're more than welcome to hop on as well.
Oh, cool. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No, that was good. That was good. She's like, do we have that? Selena, do we dig up that JoJo Siwa Mickey Rourke video? Because I want to talk about that before we go.
I sent that to Drunken in his personal DM. So.
All right, so Drunken, can we bring up that video?
That. Do you want the video or do you want?
Let's do the video because I don't need.
Hi, Dad.
We just need the video.
Hi, Dermy.
Let's pull this up because this was fun. This was a fun story that happened this week. Look, I know we talk a lot of shit about loose women and whores here, but I thought we'd change it up a little bit and talk about how lesbians aren't real.
Okay, I just want to put up. While we're talking about lesbians aren't real, so I have a twin sister and a little sister who, for like my twin sister for like 4 years identified as lesbian, and my little sister for like 2 identified as lesbian. They've both come out as straight.
No, here's the thing. Every lesbian I've ever been friends with has at one point or another tried to have sex with me. So I just,
because they thought you were a lesbian too.
Color me skeptical. I have a delicate feminine side that women find alluring, Bat Sauce. I don't know why that's so hard for you to accept.
I have 2 things.
That's your toxic masculinity.
She's growing into Melissa McCarthy. She's turning into that type of lesbian.
I could drop a load on her face.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Now, okay, but in 10 years, when she looks like Melissa McCarthy, where she's
we're not talking about marriage.
Well, no, but I'm saying when she's wearing like that jean jacket that's sponsored by Marlboro, like because she got it because she sent in so many fucking coupons, like that's gonna be another thing too. Also, like this is where all of this like gender nonsense bullshit. Oh, it's like, oh, you mean she might like guys when she was like stuck inside this like reality show? where there were guys present.
Go ahead, play the video. This is fun, and then we'll pull up the picture.
Can I point something out real quick? You always see lesbians becoming straight, but you never see gay guys becoming straight.
Good point.
That's actually you won't hear about it as much because it's more of a pain in the ass. But most gay guys will not settle down with other gay guys.
Yes.
Gay men generally aren't into a long gay men do not do long-term relationships. So when a gay guy's ready to settle down, that's usually when he might go with a woman or just continue to be loosened up on the weekends.
Oh, well, another thing that's upsetting about all of this is I think you can find the clip too. Watch her like drink Fireball on stage.
Oh yeah.
This is someone who is trying to do what like Miley Cyrus did like 10 years ago, where she said like, I want to be like the first person, I want to be the first gay person that does pop music. And I was like, well, Elton John has you beat by like 40 years.
Yeah.
You know, like it's so fake, and it feels very much like the Wrecking Ball era of Miley Cyrus, but like also she never wanted to be like, I'm a dancer.
Yeah, it's and it's like Wrecking Ball if it were autistic. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it really does though. Like it's not great.
You can smell it on her.
But I just find it funny. It's celebrity, whatever this is called. She's with like a hot looking guy for a couple weeks. And she's like, I'm not gay anymore.
Yeah. Don't forget copyright.
All right.
Come on, let's go on a journey.
Oh, really?
Like girls? Yeah, so just make sure to pause every 7 seconds because the BBC's an asshole about it.
Okay.
Mickey Rourke looks more like a lesbian than she does.
Yeah, that's why he thinks he has a shot. Go ahead.
Boys.
Me? Girls.
I know, I can tell.
Well, yeah, you dress that way.
And I'm going to be totally honest, given the fact that I have a great gaydar, JoJo Siwa is 100% not a lesbian, even before she announced that 100%.
Blah, blah, blah. All right, let's take this down so we don't get copyright struck. But like, yeah, basically Mickey Rourke takes her outside, is like, listen, you wouldn't be a lesbian if you hung out with me. I'd tie you up. and then this happens later on the show. After she says that, gets super offended, gets Mickey Rourke booted off the show. What happens? She gets cuddled up with handsome fuckface over here. And then all of a sudden she's like, I'm not gay anymore. I like dicks.
Now, look, remember, the reason for lesbianism is the men would go off on hunting parties for weeks on end and the women would have nothing else to do. Being a lesbian is just, I was bored and there was no guy to fix me.
This is great.
Well, I mean, you're not entirely wrong there.
There's a couple daiquiris that will factory reset women that will let you know that that's not the case. Well, I've also met like pretty hard hitting lesbians who will tell you that's not the case.
Well, that's because they have practice.
No, you know what? No, they're the same ones saying like any time that a child is born, they're a product of rape, right? Where those saying like
those women can be fixed. You know,
nothing is consensual.
No, those women can be fixed, and I know because my twin sister was one of those lesbians. She now has a 1-year-old boy with a man twice our age.
Here's the question, okay? Was your sister hot? Actually, that's a weird thing to say to you.
You heard him say it was his twin sister, right?
Exactly. But this is my thought process here.
Okay.
Most lesbians that are like this, that are all babies are a product of rape. The reason they're like that is because they're too ugly to actually get dick. Okay?
That's always a bridesmaid, never a bride.
It's going to kill me to be nice to my twin sister, but she isn't that ugly.
Okay, here's the thing.
So then
you've had to make like simplifications, and you're like, one, you had to say, now I have to be nice to my sister. I'm very nice to my sister. Okay, I love my sister. I haven't had to like make excuses to be nice to her. Two, I'm assuming she looks like you. You look
Not
like a great guy.
You're confused. Wow. Okay, thanks, Sammy.
I'd take you out for a drink or two, you know?
I'm just saying she's not doing as well as a lesbian.
God, what is it?
Because like if she looks like you, she probably looks like a dude.
She does not look like a dude. No, we do not look that much alike. Most people are shocked to know we're related.
So,
okay, so they're not identical. They're just fraternal.
You're not Lannister.
It is literally impossible for a man and a woman to be identical twins, Jeremy. It's not possible. I've had to deal with that.
I wasn't arguing.
Jack and Jill exists.
What I was arguing is, I think you got different treatment than she did, and I think that probably built up after years and years of.
Right.
No, I shared a womb with her, so I'm allowed to be an asshole to her.
Well, that's true. I agree with him.
I wasn't
arguing
arguing that. What I'm saying is, after you guys got out of the womb, your treatment was different.
I think he's trying to say is she got dick and you didn't, and now you're upset that you never got dick.
Yeah, no, that's 100% what it is.
Anyway,
No, that's what it is. Move along.
1,000 times better now that she's not non-binary.
Yeah, dude.
No, let's also hear what she identified as. She did change her identity to queer, which is a deliberately dubious phrase that has absolutely no meaning, so she can pretend to have her gay oppression points without being gay.
Right. It's just a way to be a part of the trend in the club.
Yeah.
Without the Q. Like all of those guys who were like standing up going like, this is wrong, this is weird. All we wanted to do was get married. These people who are doubling down going like, we should be able to read at like children's libraries. Like,
yeah, I mean, at this point, I'm also against gay marriage, and that hurts me.
Wait, are you gay?
Why does it hurt you?
I'm bisexual, so.
Oh.
I mean,
gross. I would like to leave. Excuse me.
I mean, I'm of questionable.
Doesn't it?
I'll admit it. I'm of questionable sexuality, but I've never been pro-gay marriage. I view it as a separation of church and state issue.
Nope.
I agree with that.
I'm not even bad on gay marriage. Like, if you want to be miserable, like I've almost been married 10 years. You want to be miserable like the rest of us? That's fine. I see no reason why you have to go to a library and like be in all drag and read to kids. And I blame this on conservatives, because if we would have let this happen the one time and let this just go out and go, oh, this is completely wrong, it never would have happened again. But once liberals found out that, like, hey, this is now with good right, we found out that, like, hey, this is insufferable and we hate this shit. Now they go like, well, now there has to be a drag queen at every library and at every school. And we're going, no, I don't think this is the correct way to go about this, but we can't, because we're so fucking tribalized. It has to be one side's right or the other side's right. And we can't go.
I'm around the same age as JoJo Siwa. I know a lot of people like her. A lot of these Gen Z homosexuals are only gay because it's what they were told was cool when they were in middle school, and that's the only reason they have their identity at all. Really, it's like you got to grow up a little bit, you got to get a little bit of dick, and then your lesbianism goes away.
Yeah.
Well, like, to that point, I know plenty of girls that they're supposedly lesbians and, you know, married to a trans person that is the girl to female.
Girl to female?
What? Shut up. Girl to male, whatever. Says they have a dick, but in reality they have a fucking axe wound. Anyways,
I hate this look.
Anyways, you know, I know these people, and it's like, I know who you are. I grew up with you. You're a fucking girly girl, and you like dick. You're all just doing this for fucking oppression points and to virtue signal the entire time. And it really becomes interesting when I, who was either bottom of my class or average, am like smarter now than the top of the kids in my class that I grew up with. It's like, how are you guys this retarded? Like, common sense shit.
It's another thing too, where you have this, but before all the gender politics were a thing, what was like the big thing on TikTok is claiming that you had some sort of mental illness, where you have I have multiple identity disorder where I am, like I they would pretend this. A big one, a really funny deep dive is how many people pretended they had Tourette's.
And
the funny thing there, right? When you pretend you have Tourette's, you give yourself Tourette's. It's a funny thing. No, I'm saying because I'm a psych major. I graduated in 2 weeks. When you pretend to have tics, you will give yourself a tic-based condition.
Oh, that's okay. I agree with what you were saying. So one of the things I was doing on Tinfoil Haters the other day is monsters that you manifest, where you can actually give yourself schizophrenia. If you're worried, if you manifest a monster that you're worried about that has its own like thoughts and everything, like I drew the line going, you can't manifest this monster into reality. You sure as fuck can in your mentality where you go like, oh, well, I have this monster that I created. I want to lose weight. I have this like giant spider that I created in my head every time I eat too much and he's going to haunt me. And I was like, well, that is something that could probably haunt you in your psyche. My big argument was it's not going to manifest into actual matter. Like, like you didn't actually create this monster. This is in your head. This is a self prognose schizophrenia. This is not a diagnose. This is a prognose.
This is
something that you gave to yourself.
This is a nice lead in.
My head hurts.
This is a nice lead in to what we're going to talk about next. This is a video I saw floating around on the internet. File this under women being totally unable to learn from experience. Go ahead, bring the video up. Go ahead, play it.
Oh God, I don't want the.
Go ahead, play it.
Okay,
I hope it bites your face off.
Also,
it did.
After the incident, I went into complete shock. Like, adrenaline definitely took over. I don't remember feeling any pain. I just know as soon as I ran into the bathroom and saw my face, I freaked the fuck out, as one would. And then James came in. He freaked out, gave me a t-shirt to like hold on my face. I held my face until the ambulance got there. I don't have a single clue where King was. I don't know how he was acting after that. Went to the hospital. I was there from about 11:30 or midnight, something like that, until my surgery was the next day at 11 a.m. and then I was released when I came out. I think it was like 4 p.m. Again, I was so out of it on like pain meds, anesthesia, all that stuff, obviously. So I don't have a single clue. For like the first 2 days I was home, I was cognitively not aware of, I think, anything that was going on. Truthfully, I was just like in bed. But once I like came to and I like was feeling a lot better, King, like squirrel brain, didn't have a freaking clue what happened. Did not act different. He doesn't seem different at all. I went to wake him up in the morning and I was like, good morning, and he gets up and he doesn't have a tail. They docked it when he was a puppy, so like he always wags his whole butt, and I'm like, good morning, and he's like wagging his whole butt and doing his little like fancy thingy that he does. So yeah, no, not a freaking clue. Doesn't act different around me at all. When I first we have like a baby gate on like the dog's room right now, just so that we have somewhere like secure. A secure place for him. We've always had that baby gate on the dog's door. Anyway, I was like knelt down like to the dog's door, and so that he could like see my face, because I want to see how he's gonna react, and he gave like a couple inquisitive sniffs, and then he like ran and picked up a toy. So
why do you still have the dog?
Not a single clue.
God damn it.
She still has the dog. Yeah.
I'm sorry. I love doggos. I love them to death. When they do that, sad reality has to kick in, and something very dark has to happen. It's sad, it's depressing, but things start fucking around in their own head when they taste actual blood. You have to do it. I'm sorry. It sucks. It's awful. It's the reality of life. Why the fuck? If she dies,
they say there's no bad owner, or there's no bad dogs. There's bad owners. If you're not if you don't, and there's so many different breeds. If you're not smart enough to realize what your dog needs, in order to do this, I'm very sorry. Maybe you're ill-equipped. Where there's plenty of videos where they show like dogs like kissing their owners where they're actually in distress.
Yeah,
and I'm sorry. You should understand the dog that you own before you go out and say like, before you make a TikTok account and say like, oh my God, and then to go like, he bit me in the face. Oh, that's so, I can't believe that happened. And then you have a million people going like, I understand why that happened. I would love more than anything to give this woman shit going and flip it on and flip it around on her and go like, well, you just got bit in the face because you wanted to look more like a pit bull. Just let that like sit in her head.
Like,
and
I agree that there's no such thing as bad dogs, only bad dog owners, and that's why I get really frustrated when the reality is once they do bite you, you did this to them. They didn't do this themselves. You did this to them, and things start happening in their head when they get that taste for blood, and it's just a reality.
No, we had this.
I've got my own dog. My dog. We've got a little corgi, but he's like 8 years old now, and we really are at the point where we should put him down. In all honesty,
yeah,
because like he has become uber defensive. First of my little sister, and now of my sister's baby. If he cries, he jumps and nips at the nearest person.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And it's becoming a real problem.
Nipping's one thing. It's when they draw blood is the other.
Probably he's now nipping hard enough to draw blood, and he also he's violent with other dogs, so he can't be around other animals. I've got like 4 bite marks on my arm from tearing him away from another dog.
He might not get put
before
down.
I dated my wife,
a different house.
Mm-hmm.
Before I dated my wife, there was this girl that I was like enamored with, right? And she had this dog that walked around in diapers.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
And we all had to have like a come to Jesus moment where we were like, this dog is 13 years old. You have to put this dog down. And like, obviously she didn't like me as her current boyfriend, like liking this, but like there was a point in time where I was at her house, and I think we've all like been there where like the dog likes to cuddle, but when the dog would wake up, it would be like, I can't see. So like, fuck everybody. Like it was when it would wake up, it would get violent. And so this dog like bit me in the face, and I'm going like, you can't have this. This dog is now like perpetually violent because it's blind and it's scared. It's time to put the dog down. And she's like, but like it's a part of the family. And you're like, no, this dog is 14 years old and it's like freaking out.
Sometimes it's time to take the grandparents to the nursing home, and sometimes it's time to take the dog to the barn.
100%. And like I don't know that I had the social maturity to give her that conversation where it was needed, but I could tell her that like there was one time where I woke up and she's like, don't move. And I was like, why? And she's like, because he gets very frustrated. He can't see enough. Just don't move. I'll pick him up. I'm walking behind him. I'm gonna pick him up slowly, and then I'm gonna walk him away from your face. And I'm like, what's the alternative? And it's like, he's gonna bite your face. And I was like, fuck. Well, that's because he can't see. And we're like, well, I don't think he's gonna bite you because he recognizes your smell. That's fucked up.
All right, hold on. We got, looks like, hold on. Iron Oxide has made a meme defaming my character. Do you guys want to see it?
No, I think it's very accurate.
You don't have a character.
Hold on. Okay. Emerald, can you pull up that meme real quick? We'll see how people react to this, because I feel like this is gross and unfair. Go ahead.
I think it's pretty accurate depiction of last night's show.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I got completely fucking ambushed last night.
I promised I wouldn't last night. I made no such promises today.
You fucking asshole. Fucking.
I think this is pretty
Emerald.
accurate.
You know, I have to leave soon, but I can say one of us in this meme can use the hard R.
Retard?
That was.
I'm not sure what that means.
Are you sharing it?
Poor Jeremy.
I can.
No, I said the hard R last night because we have a new.
Well,
are you sure you did?
Yes, I did. We're using EV Mux.
The hard R.
Yeah.
For
those of you
talk
that
to
don't
each other
know,
privately.
Yeah. Last night on insert title here, Emerald brought on Gal to bushwhack me. Just complete ambush. Wasn't expecting it. I had no time to prepare. Embarrassed me in front of his dozens of loyal fans.
And you want to know what? It was great because no one knew. No one knew she was going to be appearing.
Yeah, that was horseshit. What the fuck? You
when
piece
did she
of shit.
show up?
That's not important. All right.
Is this why she was so late to my show?
Oh, let's move on to the next story real quick. It's story, Emerald. Could you about the girl with the dress? Let's do that. We're just glossed over that. All right, moving on.
Wait, did you leave my show solely to shit talk you?
Did you blame her? I gotta be on stage in a couple hours, so I gotta.
Yeah, so Sammy, do you want to do your out? Let's let Sammy do his out.
Oh, I thought you were gonna. All right.
Oh, do we want to make it big? Let's make him big.
Oh,
there we go.
I don't want to ever say make him big again.
All right, let's make him big. Pause.
I can be big all on my own. Thank you. No. I have a show every Saturday called KGCast. I have a show tomorrow. That's where I invite people in the nerdosphere to talk about things that they won't be necessarily nerdy on. We just talk about things that happen in the news. Otherwise, I'm on a show called Tinfoil Haters every Tuesday. Well, that's where we go full-blown conspiracy, and I have a couple other shows of my own by their own design that I will let out there. But if you can't do that, my band Stagger Lee has been making plenty of videos. You can like those, subscribe to those, and if not, well, go fuck yourself, because I like my band and I like how it sounds. But that's about it. Theo, thank you for having me on. Iron Oxide, thank you for all your support. Dermy Wormy, you are a beautiful man, and Ezra, I hope it all works out. I hope one day you'll take all our advice. And
are you telling him to go down the street?
Yeah, no, there's a girl who says she's part wrestler, part whore, part EMT. And one time,
look, that means she just is really good at getting her rhythm down.
Right.
She knows how to thrust.
She's multi-talented.
So you saw like Sinners, and you were like, I hope that like I can fuck a bitch with rhythm.
Yeah, I don't watch movies, but I would.
That's why I use them. That's why I use a metronome, because I know I'm a white guy that has no rhythm.
Just checking. I have to go.
Take it easy, man.
Bye.
No, I
think
he's doing great.
There we go. Okay, we fixed it. There we go. But
he's living his best life.
To answer your question, Dermy, no, Gal did not bail on your show just to slut shame me publicly.
That was just one of the reasons.
Well, I know if she did, listen, if she did, I kind of respect it, because you should be slut shamed.
Whoa, hey, you too? Dermy, at two.
Dude, let me reiterate this. You almost lost your fucking liver to a hooker in Vegas, and we're proud of that. You deserve some slut shaming.
Only because Gal abandoned me.
No.
I don't know how many times I gotta say this.
Typical Theo making it about a woman.
Yes.
Listen, she abandoned me too. Guess what? I didn't almost get my liver taken by a stripper.
That sounds like a skill issue, buddy.
No, you were drunk as fuck. This is Vaughn. Vaughn is the one that's founder, and you were like, yes let's go.
Yes. What I'm hearing is this is Vaughn Coleman's fault. That's what I'm hearing.
No.
He was the one who rounded up the wrestlers / prostitutes in the first place. That was on him. I was really just running a 2-man with him. I was supposed to just talk to the girl. Well, and yes, Vaughn Coleman's fault and also Gal's fault. Thank you, Emerald, for reminding me in the banner. This is all Gal's fault. I think this will be a recurring segment on the show. Things that were Gal's fault the whole time. All right.
I mean, Gal did assault me with a hooker too, so I don't care.
Yeah, this is a recurring pattern of behavior for her, actually. Accountability for Gal. W's in the chat for accountability for Gal.
She's never gonna see it because she's better than all of us. That's the
right.
All right. All right. Now, thank you, Selena. I thought you were on my side, but whatever. It's fine. It's fine. It's just, damn, it really be your own people sometimes. All right, all right, guys, let's take a look at this video. This was just a fun little thing I saw on the internet.
So this is awkward, but I got fired on the first day at my new job, all because of an outfit that I wore. I've always resonated with the saying, look good, feel good. So I just wanted to look pretty so that I could feel confident and give a good first impression, but clearly that backfired. If you guys missed my video, this is the outfit that I wore. Here's a close-up. As soon as I walked into work, my boss, who, keep in mind, I barely know because I'm new, calls me over, and I got so excited and literally ran up to her because I thought she was going to compliment my outfit, but she basically started berating me and telling me how inappropriate my outfit was for work and that I needed to change, and I felt really insulted, so I stood up for myself. I was respectful, but I did tell her that I've been through it with envious females. I'm used to females being super jealous of me, and that I can sense her insecurity and that my outfit wasn't going to affect the way that I perform at my job. She essentially told me to go home and not come back. I've just been feeling very distraught and traumatized, especially because they were only paying me $200,000 a year, so I assumed that they would not enforce a dress code and they would allow me to express myself with the way that I dress, but clearly I was wrong, so now I'm sad and unemployed.
That is 100% rage bait. That cannot be real.
Look at that. Look at that. She's got a fucking DEI job. She's got SSR eyes, right? She's got those SSRI eyes. You know, she's this like zonked out, like I've been taking antidepressants since I was 14 and now I don't have emotions anymore. She's got those. Just completely zonked
super
out.
Depressed.
Yeah, I'm traumatized. That was great. That was great. Bat Sauce is calling rage bait too, Arza. You guys might be right about that. But that's I love that. I love that as soon as she's in there with her boss, like I can tell you're really insecure. This is a big problem for you. So whatever you need to do to work through that, go ahead.
Can you show the outfit again? Because I missed the outfit.
No, absolutely not. You fucking gooder.
No,
go back and clip it.
I want to know what she looked like. I didn't see the outfit.
Also, what's with all this Arza simping in the chat? Arza's had like 4 simps today.
I like Arza. He seems nice.
No, but they're like lustful. It's like
everybody needs some lustful people now and then. You know, I don't get that.
Derby, you're gonna have to fight Mike Harlow first.
Listen, Mike and I listen. I'll do all sorts of crazy shit with Mike. Don't worry.
Fuck.
That's not even a particularly good outfit.
I like that outfit, honey. Please tell me you aren't wearing panties.
Okay,
like that's the kind of thing you wear to a date to TGIF.
No, so yeah, the fact that Derby likes it is a really good sign that it's not workplace appropriate.
Oh, 100%. It's not workplace appropriate, darling.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't say it's workplace appropriate. I just said it's not good. Like, that looks like a trashy date night.
Okay. All right. So Arza is mean girling her.
Outfit, but why are you wearing that to work?
It's the kind of thing you'd wear when you know you're only getting fucked in the car.
Yeah. But it's like, yeah, I don't... that's terrible.
The distinct way she zipped it so her boobs are like popping out. Like, why does she think that was appropriate?
Well, that's the only good part about her.
See, Selena, this is something you would wear, I can tell, but you know what would happen if you did. You know exactly what would happen.
I wouldn't wear it to work. That's for fucking sure.
Goddamn right you wouldn't.
Iron would be all about touching all of your special places.
You wouldn't get there to begin with.
One, I don't want to know what Selena and Iron do because I treat them like best friends.
You
and
really,
kind of
really don't.
All I'm getting is the vibe that teeth might end up being involved.
Oh,
I
all
don't.
right.
Let's stop. You know, they're like mom and dad to me, so let's not.
Oh, what the fuck is that?
Listen, all I know is that they're naming their first kid after me.
Derby, do you want him to get bullied?
Yes.
Oh boy, yeah.
I guess that handles the twin obstacle. We just have little Dermy and little Wormy over here, right?
Dermy, Wormy, Oxide.
Yes, exactly.
I bet Wormy's going to be the most popular girl in school.
Right. Dermy, well, he has some trouble.
Good Lord. How long have we been going? Yeah, we got time. We got time for one more. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. Folks.
I got some depressing things to walk through still.
Yeah. Let's do this. One. I saw this on the internet today. Emerald, can you pull that one up? I just want to pull that.
He specifies that it's on the internet as though there's any other option.
There's lots of things. I see things in the real world, Arza. That's what happens when you go outside.
Yeah, he sees things at strip clubs and he ends up making strippers cry.
That's okay.
Yeah.
They opened up to me emotionally. It happens, you know.
They opened up to you emotionally because you started going like, "Listen, darling, I see pain in your eyes."
Yeah, I hear that tears are $1 a piece.
That is a terrible Theo impression. That doesn't even sound like something I would say.
Bullshit! That is something exactly what you said. That is what you told me you said.
Yeah.
No, we already know the impression of him is "Sup, girl." Sup, girl.
No, that's Vaughn.
No, yeah, like that's the thing. Okay, this is the thing, Jeremy. We've had this conversation. Like, Vaughn, here's the thing. Vaughn and I have different goals. Like, Vaughn was trying his absolute hardest to get laid, and he couldn't hit himself with his dick with both hands. My goal was to get out of the city without fucking anybody, and I still almost did. That was tough.
Vaughn's goal was to get bitches, and he got numbers. Your goal was to at least get something.
Nope.
I doubt 100% that you weren't trying to get something, and you almost lost your liver.
Let's be honest. Theo was trying to find himself in a chapel.
I just want to make it through this vacation without fucking anybody. That was said to me 2 weeks before he even got there, and then every day before then.
Yeah, and then
he. Okay, so you almost succeeded in ruining your goal.
Yeah,
and
almost.
You really wanted to ruin that goal.
Because I'm not. That's the thing. It's like when I was in the street, like even day one when I touched down in Vegas, I was looking around like, oh fuck, it's way easier to not get laid in Spokane because the bitches are ugly. It's easier.
It's easy not to get laid in Kansas.
There's like 4 hot women in this city, and I fucked all of them twice. It's nothing. There's nothing here. I've already staked my claim. It's over. You know, I gotta move on. And so I was like doing really good. I was fucking diligent. I was focused. And then I got to Vegas and I started looking around. I was like, oh fuck. I felt that dog in me trying to crawl out. And then Vaughn Coleman kept talking shit the whole time. He's like, you're gonna break. You're gonna break.
I mean, you
can't
almost
wait to
did
watch
break.
Theo break. No,
wait,
but
he wants to watch you have sex?
Maybe a little.
Yeah.
I think I kind of got that impression.
You're muted.
Oh, I don't want to talk about this. We're not making that part of show.
Wait. What?
Ask Emerald about his bad.
About his what? Oh, Theo died.
Pivoting off of it.
Theo froze up. Yeah.
Oh fuck! Can you guys see me?
Unfortunately, now.
Okay, good. God, no, we're not talking about that. By the way, Emerald snores so obnoxiously, and the reason you guys are still friends with him is because you've never heard it.
You know what? That's a smart move, Emerald.
Oh, but
you know, I can't blame Emerald for having bad snoring because I also snore really badly.
Yeah, tape your fucking mouth shut.
I'm not
use
doing that.
mouth tape.
I'm
use
not
mouth
doing that.
tape.
I'm
now,
not
here's my
doing that.
question, Theo. You offered to loan him some that you brought on the vacation. Why did you bring that with you?
Mouth all the time. That's how I sleep. That's how it makes you breathe through your nose. That's why my face looks like this. Is because I mouth tape.
Okay.
I wish you tape your mouth more often, honestly.
Yeah, and honestly, it's good to have mouth in hand in case you have a noisy guest. All right. This is
I still never woke up with it on my lips, so clearly my snoring was not that bad.
Yeah.
So I just want to point that out.
No, I just dealt with it. I'm fucking respectful. Yeah, and also you were my ride. It's best not to piss off the guy that's responsible for you getting you home. All right. Look, I know we have a lot of fun on this show, but I saw this fun. This is kind of a more serious video I saw on the internet, so I thought I'd throw this up there. Go ahead and roll that beautiful bean footage.
5-year-old boy's got no business being in school.
Oh, I agree.
He's got no business. He needs to be out climbing a tree. Now, maybe he'll break his arm, but he'll be happy because he'll have a cast and he'll have the scars of war.
That's right.
He needs to be muddy. He needs to be dirty. He needs to be out feeding the horses. All right. He needs to be growing and developing. He doesn't need to be sitting down in a book and trying to figure out if a train leaves Chicago at 8 a.m. traveling 35 miles. He don't need that nonsense.
He doesn't.
Okay?
Yeah.
And you're going to ruin him.
That's right.
Well, the same thing applies to a 20-year-old, but just in different areas.
Yes.
They don't need it. Okay?
Yeah,
They don't need it. What do they need? They need to learn how to build relationships. They need to be around a campfire with a bunch of buddies and figuring out the pain of acting stupid.
Yep.
They need to figure it out.
That's right.
All right. They need to be down to the creek baiting down there, getting a bloody nose and a good fist fight because somebody has not yet learned how to shut their mouth. Okay. They need to learn life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Theo, are you calling me out?
Yeah.
Like this feels oddly poignant. Like this feels targeted. I'm not saying you're wrong, but like,
no. Well, this reminds me, Arza. One of the reasons I brought this up with you here is this reminds me of that discussion we were having about ADHD drugs not too long ago. So we're finding out now that downstream, turns out putting a kid on meth from the time they're 4 years old actually does have consequences, actually. And the whole time we were pretending that it doesn't, it totally did. And that's an attempt to medicalize what is really just like normal dude behavior.
Oh yeah, 100%. It is. Yeah, I mean, you put a kid in a school, you institutionalize a boy at a young age. You tell him that you can't get out all this energy that you have by virtue of having testosterone and male body physiology. When you tell them that that's inherently negative and you got to find some of an output, you can't get rid of energy by reading. You can't get rid of energy by writing. You can't get rid of energy by doing math. And when you take away their recess, you take away the activities that boys like to do in recess. Of course, the only option to get rid of the energy is to drug them up to make it so they don't have it anymore.
Yeah, go ahead.
That's because schools are modeled for girls specifically, and the boys are supposed to go along with it. And if they act like boys, that is wrong. That's misbehaving. And it's been this way for a long time. That structure model is solely catered to girls, not at all to boys. Anything that boys do is against the fucking rules.
Yeah, this is true. Like one of the big okay, so the school system, girls want to get good grades and boys want to learn. And that's a different thing. So the process of learning requires a lot of trial and error and a lot of dicking around and a lot of going out and doing stuff. And sometimes part of being a boy is like not doing what you're told. Like if you're like a headstrong, spirited boy in the school system, you're gonna have a really rough time. And you might one of the things you learn really early is doing well in school is kind of for fags. You know what I mean? I mean that's you find that early. It's not a great way to make friends as a boy.
Well, it depends on what you're actually doing. Like, there's some areas in which, you can actually make friends and stuff, some schools and stuff. But the main issue is, like, the school system was changed over a course of time to actually be more catered toward the feminine style, where women actually do learn by sitting down and reading a book over and over and over again. Boys don't learn that way. Boys learn by doing and being more active. So if you are actually getting really good in school, you're not actually doing it the way you should. Where with me, for example, I was good in more of the classes where you actually did shit, like computer design. Well, not computer, like 3D design works, wood shop, metal shop, things of that nature, where like even web design, things where I was physically doing the acts over and over again. I was a whole lot better of a student in those regards. But when it came to like English and science and shit like that, it wasn't connecting. I could do math. I'm slow at math, but I can do it. But I can't connect with all those other things, where history is also just fun, though.
Look, a simple example of that is you buy a piece of furniture. What do? You take it out and you put it together. What do women do? Thoroughly read the instructions, maybe once or twice. Then follow the instructions as they put it together. We put it together the first time, fuck it up. Yeah, you're an exception. But then as you've gotten used to putting things together, you don't need the instructions because you've learned by doing it over and over, as opposed to reading about it over and over.
I mean, I have the instruction booklet there in case I get lost and like, what the fuck is this here? And then I just figure it out.
Right.
Yeah, all of us have had that moment where we dig the IKEA instructions out of the trash and we're like, fuck, what did I do? Right?
Oh, yeah.
We've all been there. But that's part of the process. Cussing at the furniture is part of the process. This is an issue, I think, with having like 80% female teachers, is there's a lot of even grown women who just don't understand that aggression is just innately male. And part of that's because they went to education schools where they were taught a bunch of feminism, and they were taught that men and women are exactly the same in every single way, and that boys could act like girls if you just yell at them enough. Right?
Well, you just yell at them enough and it still doesn't completely set in. So then what does the next thing that they do? They drug you up. They make you essentially an automaton, an emotionless, lifeless being that just listens to the rules the entire time. And in reality, they're not doing what they need to be doing. Boys actually need to be active to do stuff to actually be able to focus a little bit more. Over time, in high school, they can be more settled down. Yes, but like when they're young, they have to be outside doing shit. They have to be engaging with it. They have to have the ability to actually put out that energy to learn, and their schools don't allow that anymore. It's all catered to the feminine side.
Man.
And just by the way, just by pointing this out is enough to get you labeled a whiner and called a podcast bro and accused of having
no, that's because you're a
masculinity.
dude that talks to strippers and makes them cry.
Okay. You just keep bringing that up. You just keep trying to bring that up. Okay, for the Touchgrass audience, I've told the story enough times. I'm done telling it. We're going to have a short released pretty soon on my channel that has the whole story. You can watch it there. I'm not telling this fucking story anymore. The point is, I'm good at talking to strippers and people are mad about it. That's what it is.
I'm not mad. I'm laughing at it. I hate strippers cry.
And, with this discussion of academics, I'm in college currently. I have a pretty good GPA. I have a 3.76, I think it is. Psychology. My best professors across every single thing were men. And that's not a coincidence. It's because men were the ones who could teach other men the best. They knew how to do it properly compared to every other teacher other than female teachers. And it's, men do like to get good grades when it's a system that they enjoy learning in. And you're right. I'm about to graduate. I'm pissed because I haven't learned anything. The amount that I've done, the amount that I've learned is very small compared to how much I realistically should have. I have not learned $100,000 worth of information.
Yeah,
and
you never will, buddy.
Well, think about this real quick. When you go to college, I've been to college twice, flunked out the first time, money ran up the second time. Why the fuck, if I'm going for an engineering degree, do I need to take fucking English again? Why do I need to do these core elements all over again?
Scam.
Exactly. Yep. It doesn't work. And guess what? Yeah, I might be retarded. I can barely read and write, but all that should have been figured out in fucking elementary school, a little bit in high school. That's where you're supposed to learn that shit. I shouldn't have to pay a fucking college to learn how to do this all over again. That's not what that was supposed to be.
by forcing you to study those things, it'll help you be well learned and help you be able to be a higher level thinker. But
That's
they don't
gaslight,
teach
man.
those skills. They don't. They used to teach those skills. Now it's just sit down and tell me why the fucking curtains are blue. There is no practical use behind these classes like there used to be. It is, like you said, Aaron, it's now a scam. It wasn't originally, but it is now. And his comments about how like men should be out there and we should be sitting at 20 years old, you shouldn't be in school, you should be sitting by the campfire, getting the fights because the guy didn't know how to shut his mouth. There's no structure in place for men to have those experiences now. You know, I don't have a group of close male friends in real life. I don't know anybody because none of my friends are in a position where they themselves know how to have close male friends in the real world.
Yeah, you know why? Because you don't live in Las Vegas.
That's true.
Well,
we got it. I literally,
if I lived in Las Vegas, my friend group would be nobody in my generation.
Yeah, fair enough. And,
I mean, that's fair. I mean, me.
Yeah,
are you Gen Z?
I'm 28.
Yeah, and guess what? Arza, I'm gonna tell you this right now. There's another open spot. There's actually 2 more open spots in the house that I'm moving in to. Von
don't
do
what he's doing.
Come on.
Don't. Legitimately,
calls,
don't
baby.
do what he's doing. My brother lived in a similar situation that he's going to live in. It was fucking hell. Don't do it. Get your own apartment. Get your own space. Do your own thing.
See, unfortunately, I gotta stay here for another year. I have to stay here. Like, I can't leave here yet. But I'm thinking of maybe applying to some grad schools in Vegas when I eventually go to grad school. Might look over that.
I have like 2 years at the best right now until I can move out there. But to Arza's point, though, about like not learning anything. When I was in college the first time, I took like the English and shit like that. My first English teacher taught me feminism in English.
Yeah.
And I had to write feminist fucking papers. And I wrote some damn good ones. I'm not even going to lie. My second one, though, he was a Canadian. And he said, you're coming into college now and none of you know how to critically think. Not a single one of you know how to actually critically think and think for yourself. So even though he made me write some more anti-racist papers, he still taught me something that no high school taught me, that they should have taught me, no school taught me, which was think for your fucking self. Actually use your fucking brain. And even though he was this Canadian leftist dude, he still told you should think on your own. And that was something that never got told to us, never was brought up ever, and now I'm here. And even though I was able to write an anti-racist paper exponentially well and a pro-feminist fucking paper, I still learned how to do it myself.
Do you have those? You should publish them for us.
I might have the feminist one somewhere, and it was basically write about how feminist writers have influenced the current era, and it was me literally praising the fact that Star Wars has a female lead.
Oh god!
Oh no! Catering towards females.
Oh man!
Oh no! Jeremy, why?
I thought that's what I was supposed to do.
He understood the assignment.
You understood the assignment,
but like I thought. I was in I was in college 2015, 2016. Okay, that's what I thought was happening. Rural Kansas, you're not really tapped into all this stuff. You don't know what's going on. Another thing, like in a lot of how our society is, it is sexist. Like, and mind you, I'm saying this in a different way. It's catered against men 100% right now. Yep. Where later on in life, I got some of the even worst aspects of what's going on right now, where I had a relationship where I did everything that society tells you to do, in the relationship. It blew up in my face. I did nothing wrong, but I caught some, shit that I shouldn't have caught. Not STDs, but bad shit happened, and I got fucked over for it. And I learned some dark, seedy, disgusting things about even the legal system within Kansas, a conservative state, mind you. And yeah, I've completely kind of red pilled on a lot of stuff. I'm not a red pill guy. I think most of that shit's retarded. But at the same time, I'm like, I know how this shit actually works, and it's not what people tell you it is. The way they tell you how to act, be a little bit more don't do these things. And honestly, they're trying to make beta males, and acting like a beta male just ruins your fucking life.
Yeah.
to your point a little bit, the only classes that I've had really of value were last semester or last year and this semester, or just my final year, last semester and this semester, where I'm taking some film classes or discussion heavy classes and classes where I'm mostly talking. So I'm actually getting very little from the class, but I know that I'm actually showing the people in my class alternative ways to think. So the only classes that have been at all of value to me are the classes where I'm basically playing devil's advocate every 10 minutes, offering a counter perspective. I got nothing from the class, but I know people around me got at least a little bit.
The classes that I enjoyed the most and got the most out of were, the heavy discussion heavy classes. But my discussion heavy classes were always the classes like 3D design and things like that, where we're doing the work, but at the same time, while we're doing the work, we're just conversing. We're chatting, we're figuring it out, and then we get those, like, our worldviews start getting challenged by one another as we get the assignments done.
Yeah.
So we start learning how to do stuff and also conversing with one another as you would like in an everyday workplace environment.
No, but this is something I noticed in law school. The further you get in education, the more anti-male it is, and also the more monolithic it is. And the less people can tolerate. Like, there were a lot of times in like my discussion heavy classes where I was the only one represented. It was like one or two guys in a class of like 50 to 30 people who were, willing to go against the monolith, and people would get upset. When it was my turn to write an anti-racist paper, I wrote one about how the Second Amendment was good because black people needed guns to defend themselves from the police, and they just did not know what to do with me. I'm really proud of that.
My favorite
that was a lot of fun. I cited Malcolm X.
My favorite teacher was my CAD teacher, actually my basically 3D design teacher. My second time I went to school, and we just played chess together and had long conversations.
Yeah.
And that's why I liked him so much, as he was just teaching us how to do CAD and things like that.
Well, this is actually really important. One of the ways that, so when you get rid of all the male spaces, you also get rid of all the male mentorship. And mentorship is really important for men to learn how to act right. And you can see it now. Like, I see, I never really got along with my dad, but I grew up with dad around. And when I grow up and I interact with a lot of these, especially guys in comedy who, a lot of it, you see, slumped shoulders, they're passive aggressive, they don't know how to handle conflict, they can't regulate their emotions, they drink all the time. Like, you see this downstream, these are guys who've like literally never had a positive male figure step in and help them act right. They've just never happened.
In today's era, it's also not just a matter of having a dad, because most of these dads are equally feminized. If your dad is become completely cucked by the modern social structure, you're basically being raised by two moms, except for one of them is a complete wet blanket, and he's the one you're trying to model yourself after.
Yeah, I was kind of
the dads in today's that this generation of parents they're the submissive ones. They're not the decision makers. They're not the bean counters. They're not the ones setting the rules. They're the ones following along.
Yeah, I was kind of blessed.
It's not even an equal It's not even an equal partnership. It's a completely female dominized environment.
Yeah, and it's I think a lot of guys you're raised in the feminized culture to just like think it's like almost rude to say no to a woman, or it's rude to be like, stop telling me I'm overreacting. What if you are? Right? What if you are? And that's I was kind of blessed. My dad is older, so he was like, my parents probably should have had kids in the late 70s. So I had like a late 70s style childhood. Like, if I had a problem, it was rub some dirt on it, figure it out.
Yeah.
And stop being such a wuss. God, Jesus. And now, the whole time I thought my dad was picking on me. And now that I'm an adult and I'm not a wuss, we get along great. I just had to stop being a pussy. That was the secret to getting along with my dad this whole time. Right. And there was no amount of fucking feminized therapy from the HR culture that we live in that was going to square that circle. He just had to respect me as a man and we would get along. That was it. And that was the whole reason he was doing everything he was doing was trying to make me stronger. Everything he was doing was trying to push me to grow. And you can tell a lot of these guys out here have not had somebody pushing on them. They don't, and they don't react well to it.
I just saw something actually that's like perfectly in tune with this. So, guys like to rib on each other, and if you ever play games with male friends, you're doing a lot of ribbing on each other. Like when Iron, me, and Cyfax played Repo, that was rough. Like most people would think we actually hated each other. But I saw the video. It was like this guy was complaining about the archetypical friend that he has, that when you rib on him, he's like, well, now if you're going to be like that, I'm not even going to play, and just hops off because he gets ribbed on a little bit. And there are so many people in today's society that you can't rib on. If you try to make fun of them in any way, like, well, maybe I don't want to be involved with this, and they'll just leave because you're trying to have male camaraderie, but they don't know how to have male camaraderie, so they just think you're being an ass because that's how women are assholes.
Yeah, it's partly because you brought up video games, because women have ruined male spaces. That was there for us to bond and, grow each other up through digs, insults, jokes, conflict, because men, even in good friendships, thrive on a little bit of conflict and competition. You have to. And they came in and installed all the girl rules that apply to everyone.
Yes. What I do like to do is always look back at my life, and I end up seeing like the old teachers and stuff, like the male teachers that were actually there trying to teach you how to be a good man and a good thing. Even though they're working within the female system, they're still looking at you, and they're trying to teach you, and they're trying to tell you how to actually like do the right thing. And there's a lot of I got lucky. Okay. I have a good dad. Me and my dad butted heads because we're exactly the fucking same. So we just naturally fight a lot. Now I don't fight as much with him, and I help him out a whole lot more. But growing up, we just fought a lot. So I had a lot of male teachers and male role models, just luckily at my school, that would like, hey, take me aside, help me out. I had one of them that paid me a bit to go out to his farm area and help cut trees down. I had things like that in my life, and that's just because I grew up in a really small community where a lot of people just went to church and did the right thing. So you have all these male role models around you, you know how to do it. And I never realized that. And outside of that, like 30 minutes away in another town, which is kind of a city to me, they don't have that. All their teachers were females. They don't have the male role models around them. And it's like, but I did. Well, I had great teachers.
That. So what happens when you interact with one of these guys that doesn't understand male bonding? Have you ever met a guy who tries to bond with you by complaining, where every time they're mopey or sad or pouty, they're bringing it to you, and you're like, what the fuck do you want me to do with this? Stop being a pussy? I don't know. Right? You know why that just bounces off? Because that's not how men bond. However, there is this concept called co-rumination, and it is how women bond. Where every time, this is why they're on TikTok talking about every fucking embarrassing thing that ever happens to them, because they're bonding. Right? That's how women bond. They get together and they feel each other's bad emotions together, and they form these little codependent
and cry and hug and shit.
I will say there's a point in time where doing that with a male friend, but one guy who you're like, this is the guy you've known since middle school. Yes. Doing that with that one friend is very helpful. But it's when you're doing it with there are times where you do
everybody
need to,
all the
get
time.
Off your troubles. Yeah. But when you're doing it with everybody, or like you're sitting down to a panel and you're doing it to a panel, that can sometimes be very.
Well, yeah, this is the point. It's what's the purpose of the conversation? Do you walk away from that conversation where everybody had a good cry together, or do you walk away from that conversation with solutions? Because as a man, you got to be trying to find solutions, because there's no quarter for whiners and foxholes. We have to find a solution and get to step in and go push it, because the real world is not going to have mercy on you like that. The real world is not going to sit and cry with you like that. Like, the real world is going to expect you to produce results. And that's the point of pushing each other. Like, the reason we're making those remarks is because if I find out you're so sensitive you can't take a joke, now I know you're narcissistic. You have a little bit of an ego on you. You're soft. That means when shit gets bad, you might run away. You might leave me, because that's better for you, right? Because you're selfish and you're weak. And I know that. And you got to punish that out of you. Here's the thing. There's a certain amount of being a young man. When you are a child, you are selfish and you are weak. And that's the point of male bonding, is like punish that out of you so you're actually useful to your community. That's the point of it. You got to be useful to the people around you. And if you can't figure out a way to do that, the world's just not going to have anything to do with you as a man. Like, it sucks, but that's reality. And it's much better to confront that reality early and head on than it is to whine about it.
Well, to your point about like when men go to like talk about their shit and things like that, they're usually trying to think of solutions and they're trying to work it out. And that's why they go there. So yeah, I have the guys I go to vent about some of the shit that I'm dealing with or some of the fucking bullshit that gets brought my way. Like I talk to Static and Renaissance Nerd and people like that, and I just start venting and we start trying to work out plans to try to get a different thing going. But if you're not doing that, then you're just bitching to bitch. Yeah, there's a lot of things I like to bitch about just to get it off my chest, but most of the time I'm trying to just figure out what's the correct path forward.
Yep.
Bingo.
Yeah, you go through that. There's that little you when you're close with somebody that you trust, that's another guy, and you can go with that. But it's always solution oriented. Mm-hmm. Like, what is the cause of this, and how do you change that?
Yes.
Not I just want you to feel my pain and empathize with me. No, that's not what we're doing. We don't.
No, if I do that, I'm gonna be screaming at Gal.
Yeah,
and she's gonna call me a pussy.
Yeah.
Yep. And this is
the goal can be just to have somebody know what you're going through, but then I don't need them like, oh my god, I'm so
what you need a wife for.
Happened to you. The response that I'm looking for my friend is like, well, maybe you shouldn't be such a pussy about it. Grow a pair of balls and go get some pussy for it. That'll cure your problems. I need them to say that, not to be like, oh, I'm so sorry.
Well, you can do the whole like, hey, this is what I'm going through. Okay, you do that once or twice. If you keep fucking doing it, by the end of the day, I'm gonna say, grow the fuck up and figure it the fuck out.
Especially if it's the same problem over and over again.
Yeah,
it's get a job, move out, do something. Just do something to start moving the life along, instead of just bitching to bitch over and over and over.
Here's the thing. Here's how that plays out. Here's the thing. If you're bitching about the same problem over again, the problem is your choices, right? And so that's really that's something you need to be able to hear from your friends. And a lot of people don't have anybody who's willing to say to them, hey, it's your choices. That's the problem. And sometimes you have to figure it out. Sometimes your friends just all stop fucking with you at the same time. And you're like, wow, I chased everyone away. Maybe I should figure out what of my behavior caused that, right? It's a good moment. It's a period of growth, right? You should do it. And
the sad thing is, in our society right now, kids aren't learning how to do that. Kids aren't learning how to do like those basic things. Like for me, I didn't learn how to do that whole, hey, talk it out and then figure out the solution until much later in life. And that was because I got drugged up when I was in 3rd fucking grade and didn't understand emotions until I was in college. 2nd time.
Yeah.
God damn.
You know, I had friends who would do this women emotional bullshit. I mentioned this friend before, the one who there was a girl who I was interested in from my childhood. We were rekindling, and he comes in and he tells her that I said a bunch of things, but he changed what I said just enough to make me sound like an asshole. He did that with several of my friendships. He had tried to ruin several of my friendships throughout my years knowing him. Now, I'm friends with the guy he tried to ruin the friendship with. I'm not friends with him anymore. But it's like you can see how these people... You can see the feminine influence in them and how they try to do it maliciously because of some internal thing that they feel maligned for.
So, the guys that do that a lot, though, and I don't mean this to say that they need to get punched, but they just haven't been punched in the face. They haven't.
He 100% needed to be punched in the face because, like, this guy. I would never forget. His girlfriend broke up with him, like literally put him in a slump for like 6 months where he was like catatonic because he couldn't live without his girlfriend. Gets back with her. I thought he was making a joke, so I insulted his girlfriend. No, they actually got back together. So she made him block me. And then they broke up again, and he literally failed senior year because he couldn't deal with breaking up with his girlfriend. He only graduated because it was during COVID, so the school didn't want to fail anyone.
Yeah. Tough situation.
Wow.
Pour one out for the homies.
Bring masculinity back.
Right.
Bring the dudes that are just going to stand the fuck up, get punched in the face, and go like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to keep moving forward.
You know what? I'm pretty sure he didn't have a dad either. Shocker.
Yeah.
Well,
this is a real problem. Hashtag Iron Seed.
God.
Why aren't you? You know who would be a great dad in the chat? Just
Iron.
real quick.
Apparently, I'm already everybody's dad. Apparently. All right.
Listen,
I was thinking about this.
Iron would be a great father.
Yeah.
Hey, thank you,
And
buddy.
Selena would be a great mommy.
Thank you.
I love how great distinction there. But I was thinking about it. This community we built is kind of a counteraction to this lack of masculine role models. In a way, in a very disgusting way, we've kind of created a big brother system here of different men keeping each other accountable. Fortunately, that puts Theo in the big brother space for me. Terrible role model for me, I'm afraid.
I'm doing great.
He's not my role model. Theo's not my role model.
We're creating a system where we can encourage each other to live life appropriately as men. Like, I thought about it and be horrifying. If I go to Vegas, Theo's going to try and hook me up with women. I haven't actually been taught how to talk to women. So it'll be like...
You have to figure it out.
Well, yeah, but I still haven't figured it out yet. So it's going to be... But that means he's willingly putting himself in the role model position. And in a way, he's also looking for a role model, say, in Iron or Emerald, I assume.
Yeah. Well, and by the way, this accountability system that you're talking about. It works because I didn't lose my liver because a bunch of grown men pulled me off of that wrestler. Right? Listen, when I used to go out by myself, like I used to do that. I used to, go to bars and like just float around talking to every single chick. And when I would get in a bad situation, there was nobody there because I was out there by myself. I was just learning it because I had to learn, right? I had to went there and I did it the hard way. And it sucked. I made a lot of mistakes, but now, I hope that, my experiences actually like benefit someone at some point. That would be rad. That's one of the reasons I have this show. I hope that my experiences benefit someone at some point. And it feels awesome now that I have people watching my back to make sure that I don't do the same dumb shit that I used to do, which fucking derailed my life. Because hooking up with bar sluts is a giant waste of time. Put that on.
Yeah, you'll never end up back on that train.
No. I've got an accountability system. No, we're not Yoko Onoing this. Like we're staying on track. All right, folks, this has been rad. We've been going for about 2.5 hours now. The chat's been fun. Why don't we do our outros? How about that? All right, Arza.
No.
Arza, you have oppositional defiance disorder, and
I do
ADHD and autism.
The last one's not confirmed yet.
Where can people find you if they enjoy that sort of thing?
Well, you can find me at Arza Chats on, I gotta look at my list, YouTube, Rumble, Instagram, TikTok, and of course, X. If you want me on a show, I love doing shows. So, don't be afraid to shoot an invite or be like, hey, person who I like to watch, this person's cool, bring him on. That'd be awesome. Now, my upload schedule is a little fucked up because it's final season, which means I gotta put my nose to the grindstone. I've got a 10-page paper due on Wednesday, so that'll be fun. So I will upload when I can, but it's unclear how frequently that'll be. So if you like me, sorry for the hiatus. Just makes you more excited. Longing makes the heart grow fonder.
Ooh, somebody's been reading 48 Laws of Power.
I have not. No.
Oh, fuck you. God, read the book. Read the book, you adult. You're an adult. Figure it out. Okay. Who's next? Lena, you're off screen, so I'm going to pass over you, but I'll come back. Dermy Wormy, friend of the channel, big celebrity guest. What's up, man?
Trying to figure out, did Selena just become a dog? Like what?
No, Thor really wants to talk.
Thor's really angry that you skipped Selena.
Yeah.
No. Hi, I'm Dermy Wormy. Yes, I'm friend of the show. Don't expect me on here all the time because usually I'm waking up around this time of day on Saturday. Ballbusters goes hard sometimes. But
it does.
You can catch me on Saturday here in a little bit. I need to get some food and shit. And before I play Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, I actually have VTuber drama to go over, which is honestly just depressing and sad. And it all kind of started breaking here just a couple hours ago. And yeah, it's not fun to talk about or deal with right now, where some of your favorite people are actually scummy jackasses and cut down to other people that you really like. So yeah. That's gonna be fun. Then all the videos, Ballbusters next Friday with Dom, and then next Saturday is our Outlast stream for 7 hours straight. Me and Gal.
Oh shit.
Oh my.
I hate horror games.
All right, so if you enjoy depression,
that's gonna be fun.
If you enjoy depression and watching men do things they hate, Dermy Wormy, everybody. All right.
Yeah, I hate horror games. I'm a scared little bitch. I can do the movies. I can't do the games.
Welcome back, Nate 2.0.
Don't talk it out like that. Dermy Wormy's a friend of the channel. All right. Selena, you are the Beyonce of the Rogues Gallery. You are our unofficial queen. What kind of things do you get up to?
Well, I do produce for the weekly Rogues Gallery on Wednesday and the weekend Rogues Gallery on Fridays at 5:30 p.m. PST. I'm also here as a panelist every Saturday at 11 a.m. PST. I think we are joining. I think it's tonight. We're joining Sean.
Third Relify.
Gina, yeah, Third
Relify
tonight. I don't know what time. What time are we? I don't know. But anyway, we'll be over there on Third Relify's channel. Yeah, and other than that, you can just find me on X. Thank you.
All right, great. Iron Oxide, the Jay-Z and unofficial king of the Rogues Gallery.
Hi, I'm Iron Oxide, Dermy Wormy super fan, the original Dermy Wormy super fan. And you can find me later on this evening over on Third Relify's channel along with Selena. And then tomorrow I'll be on In Other News over with Sammy Threepeat. And then on Monday I'll be on Words of Paradise over on Leon's channel. For make sure I don't fuck up the show title because he's got a couple different shows that will be for Countercast this Monday at I believe 6 CST, so I'm looking forward to that as well. Then weekly Rogues Gallery every Wednesday at 5:35 p.m. PST, weekend Rogues Gallery every Friday at 5:35 p.m. PST, back on Sammy Threepeats for Cavecast Saturday morning, and then back here at 11 a.m. for Touchgrass. And anything else, follow me on X and you'll know where to find me. Follow me on Rumble and YouTube. That's about it.
All right. Drunk Emerald Arrow, producer extraordinaire, 99 overall producer. What's up, man? Where can we find you?
You can find me producing here at Touchgrass with Theo Snodgrass at 11 a.m. PST. Then I know I'm anyway. The medication for my headache has finally kicked in. Anyway, you can also find me and hosting my show, Nerds Covering the News, on Tuesdays at 5:30 PST. On Tuesday nights, Wednesday, I'm over on the Rogues Gallery at 5:30 PST. Then on Saturday, on Friday, I have Sean and Gina show that I've been jumping in on pretty consistently. And then at 9:30 PST, we have insert title here with most of the people that are on screen right now. It goes off the very on Saturday mornings, back over in doing Cavecast with Sammy Threepeat, and we are going over Drake next week.
I believe so.
Yeah.
No, Todd. Jason Todd.
Oh yeah, Jason Todd. We're going to be covering that iteration of Robin on next Cavecast.
All right. Very exciting. All right. Well, of course, folks, I have been your host, Theo Snodgrass. I do all kinds of shows with all these people. Make sure to follow me on X so you can get that. My links are all in the chat. It's been rad. It's been really cool hanging out with you guys. We're going to go ahead and do a heart out. All right.